I mean, the last time I talked, I heard about a whole Chelsea rebrand. But if you guys want to go back to your slutty ways, going through managers,
Wow.
Let Beta speak on it.
They're pimping out themselves now.
Big your truth, Beta.
Is he lying? Do you know how many times I cried? You know how many times I cried, bro? Every time I see Nagelsmann coaching,
You can't call this team a golden generation. There's nothing.
Hans was asked, what is a register? I swear he said, someone.
No way. I knew it.
Once is an anomaly, twice a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern, 4 times is juju. That's my saying. So, I'm sorry, it's witchcraft is happening.
We back.
Yo, what up, it's the kid back here for this live show, back here for the beautiful Saturday Hangouts, guys. Welcome back. So, guys, David has, I made a mistake. He's not actually retired. It felt as if he retired, but he's actually left Man United. We're going to talk about De Gea, whether he deserves more praise, and just looking back at his Man United career. Maybe really delve into potentially United going in for Onana. And does De Gea deserve more praise for what he did, or is his United career ultimately a brick career? So we're going to try and delve into that. Then we're going to talk about Pep Guardiola. So this goes back to, Schweinsteiger saying that pretty much Pep Guardiola is the reason why Germany they're not able to get through 2 freaking World Cup group stages. So he said that he's not mainly to blame, but he has partly to blame with regards to how Germany brings it up twice at the World Cup. And then finally, we'll then talk about Fabregas, because we didn't really talk about it last weekend because he is obviously retired. And I thought, you know what? This is a great time for us to actually have a discussion on Cesc Fabregas, because I put out a video for the Tier 1 members, but for us here to really have a discussion about Fabregas and where does he rank amongst all-time midfielders? Where is that amongst all-time midfielders? So guys, remember, this is an open hangout. Anybody can join in. Just click the link on my Twitter page to join in, have your say whatever you want, and then join in on the discussion. Remember, guys, like the vid, subscribe if you're new, and if there's anything you wish to add into the show, feel free to send in your dubs and those super chats. That is what helps keep this channel flowing through, man. So let's get in on it right now. Let me just hit my thingy here right now. Okay, hold up. So David De Gea. Now, there was always thoughts of, is he gonna stay? Is he gonna go? And everything. And because United were going in for Onana. And the abuse that De Gea has received has been crazy. Has it been warranted? I believe so. Now, here's the thing. I don't know of many players who have a 2-hour video dedicated to them. I don't know of any players who have a disaster class where 20th century frogs. I don't know of any players who have 20th century frogs logo coming up before a 2-hour disaster class. So that for me is crazy. The thing with De Gea is that this had to happen. This had to happen because he was making far too many mistakes. But what I want us to have a discussion about, because I put up my video, but I want to have a discussion about with the streets and with the panel is, does David De Gea leave Manchester United a legend, or does he leave Man United as a bomb, an overrated bomb? So was he more of a bomb, or is he more of a legend? Should we look at recency bias, or should we only judge people by their peaks? Is it fair to judge people by what did you do for me lately, or look at their peaks? So that's what I want us to talk about. And see, where I am with it is, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because at a point he was one of the best keepers in the world. I don't want to say the best. He was at least one of the best keepers in the world. I say he was top 3, top 4 at his peak. But the amount of mistakes this guy has made and the multiple mistakes that he's made leading to goals, I know very few keepers who consistently made the kind of mistakes that this guy was making. So it's a crazy one. So where I am with it is, you can't call him a legend, bro. You can't, because my thing though, if you're calling him a legend, why? Because he won the league title with he's the only United player to have won the league title. No, that's a trash reason to call him a legend. So okay,
I think he was the best for like a year, the best goalie in the world. For
like 2 years.
Was he the best?
Remember when Neuer hit his peak in like 2012, he was playing at a peak level, like in my opinion, best goalie from like 2012 to 2017. Then he broke his foot. And then I remember De Gea from the 16-17 and 17-18 season was like, this guy was stopping everything. And then the downfall happened after that Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So wait, so hold up. So are we saying that Cristiano is to blame for De Gea's downfall? It's always
It's literally after that game.
You're right though. It's like you can literally pinpoint the moments everything went down. Once he made that mistake, from that point, he wasn't the same guy.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But literally, coming into that 2018 World Cup, he was arguably one of the best keepers in the world.
He was the best.
Yeah.
He was the best keeper in the world.
He was the best going into that.
Yeah, he made
When did Couture move to Real?
2019.
2018. 18.
Was it 18 or 19? I think it was 19.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to the United guy then. So BMF, talk to me.
It's a tough
Is he
one.
a Man United legend? No, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I was thinking about it too. I'm like, is he a United legend or is it a bum? But it's a tough one because I can't put everything on him because it's literally the club's fault. You know, we shouldn't have had him for a long time. Like the moment that we were trying to play a position-based side, we should never give him that 6-year contract. Like Roy King was talking about, like why did we give him a 6-year contract with $375K a week?
Well, maybe it's the idea of like, okay, I can change.
Nah,
because if you believe that you're of a certain level, like, okay, if we're evolving, I can evolve. Now, not everybody can do that, but I think that shouldn't you say that everybody should be given the chance to fail? Okay, this is what we're now doing new. Try and do it rather than, I'm already going to assume you're trash, so I'm not even going to bother even giving you a chance to even prove yourself.
Like what made me call with David De Gea was when it was during the early season, and it was literally when it was between January to when we went to the Europa League final we had, and I think he went back to Spain to go see his child because his wife just gave birth, and Dinelli was starting, right. And I noticed the difference between him and Dinelli because we literally played a better outline and we went on a winning streak. That's when City were going on a winning streak and we stopped them and we literally beat them away from home. I was thinking to myself, we literally, like, I know Ole is not the perfect manager. It's not like, but we're literally playing better, playing the outline, you know. And David De Gea just comes back. We go to the Europa League final. We lose that. I think they said we went to go meet Fergie and cry to Fergie that he got dropped because Ole never wanted to put back in the team. Then Edison got mad because Ole promised him that he was, you know, you my man now. David De Gea might be, you know, he's gonna be on the bench. You my guy now, and things things didn't just went bad from there. So, is he a legend? I would have to say it's a slight. I would say slight, yes, because of man saved us a lot of time when we were shit.
Wait. Okay, so he's a legend because he saved you when you guys were crap. That makes him United
crap. Like
legend.
we could have been so bad. Like we could have been, like I can say that we could have been so worse if not we didn't have David De Gea and go. Like so many.
No, I mean because you could argue that. Look, say if a guy wins multiple Player of the Season awards, how much stock should we put into that? Because I'm sure Mount won some Player of the Season awards and everything.
Okay,
also,
no.
We need to get your thoughts on Mount. By the way,
Mount is different, man.
Mount is different. With David De Gea, right?
Nice pick.
Yeah, go. BMF.
With David De Gea winning Player, like the problem is like the team wasn't that good when he was winning Player of the Year. Not like the team is kind of looking good. Ten Hag knows what he's trying to do. You can kind of see all his weaknesses. When the team was like shit and it was bad, you could see, it was one of our best players. But when the team became good and became better, right, you started seeing David De Gea's weaknesses and everything he can do. So that's why I say it's a slight one because you saved it because we could probably get relegated.
Okay. Look, let me come to Mike. Then come to Gatlet and Eric. So Mike, talk to me. David De Gea, do you count him as United legend?
First off, I just wanted to know, HH, why didn't you react to that video I made about Lukaku for you?
So, Mike, David De Gea, so is he United legend?
All right, so you saw the video.
I have no idea what you were talking about.
Oh, you don't have any idea? Okay, cool. Number 10, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Mike, I don't know what that video is and everything. So
I'll bring it up.
Mike, I'm on Threads, by the way. I don't know what Twitter is. I'm on Threads. So shout out to Threads. I don't wait. Twitter. What the hell is Twitter? I'm on Threads, bro. Post it on Threads, then I'll see it. Post it on Threads.
I'll post it on Facebook because you're the older people generation. So maybe you're with Facebook and MySpace too.
Shout out Threads, by the way. Shout out Threads. Mosque, you bum.
Yeah. With De Gea, I don't know what United fans are thinking. He's a legend. Like
what? Full stop?
Yes. Let me tell you that he has the record appearances for goalkeeper. He has the record clean sheets for goalkeeper for Manchester United. I'm sorry.
Yeah, boy.
Wait. Let me finish.
He stayed longer than all the keepers we had. Like he was in the club.
You can't use appearances tax.
You have to keep clean sheets somehow. Do you remember the defense he was playing in front of? Bailey, Smalling, under Mourinho. Jones.
No, but the last 4 years have been terrible. I got like the mistakes is like.
Kenny, I know the mistakes have been bad in the last 4 years, but without him, remember last season we were all talking about without De Gea, without Ronaldo, United would have finished maybe below the top 10. Do we not forget that as well? Okay, yeah. Look, United haven't had the success like they did under Edwin van der Sar.
They have had a banter phase.
Yeah, they've had a banter phase. Look, they had a banter phase with him, but he's been the one bright spot out of anything, and he's the last player from the last time they won the Premier League. He's the last player. Everybody else is gone.
Bro, we didn't win that Premier League because of David De Gea.
Did I say that you won the Premier League because of De Gea? I said he's the last one in that squad that is now gone. So I think he's a legend to me. But obviously, I can understand United fans having a different idea on it because of all the mistakes. But this is the problem with modern day fans. You guys are all so reactionary and recency bias, right? Everybody recency bias. We all
I can.
I mean, look at this. Like, we have 2-hour compilations of him.
That's crazy. That's crazy. For me, that's like. Why? Like, for me, that's crazy.
I'll tell you why. When he made 13 saves.
No, I'll tell you why. Right? The reason why they have those because it's the fact that some fans in our fan base, right, think that David De Gea is literally untouchable. You know, the best keeper we've ever had. That's the reason why. Because
how really?
Bro,
because I don't know of any United fans who could defend De Gea in 2023.
No, the way Goldbridge speaks about Mark speaks about him, Goldbridge, right? It's like we've never I'm like, bro, this man, like when I say David De Gea, right, sometimes it's a little bit overrated because the people talk about his shot stopping. Most of the time he relies on his reflexes to make a save. People don't talk about his positioning. He's trying to claim crosses, trying to command his body.
And also, do you know what the whole thing about those shot saving? See, shot saving is a weird one because is it a great save or are the strikers shooting straight at him?
He made some.
Oh my gosh, come on.
No. Hey, I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question because, bro, if Raheem Sterling is taking shots at you, those are not saves. Sterling is passing the ball to you.
There was some trash forwards back in the days as well.
No, wait, no, Kenny, no. I'm just saying, like, 13 saves is great, but if Pepe Le Pew is shooting at you as opposed to pick Drogba or pick David Villa, that's different. I can make 100 saves if Pepe Le Pew is shooting at me.
Back in the days,
Kenny, if Yakubu is shooting at you, Kenny, you will look like Pigbo before.
No, but of course, let's be honest. Let's be like we love romanticizing the back in the days. Like back in the days, there was trash strikers as well. Let's not act as if all the strikers.
Hold up. Wait, Kenny. So you're saying that the strikers from the late 90s and early 2000s were worse than the strikers that De Gea was facing?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that all of them are trash. But
respect by the Stusa. Kenny, I was just watching World Cup goals on YouTube like yesterday. Respect by the Stusa, bro.
Well, you were in the 70s when you were born.
Okay, wait. Let me come to Gatlock. You want to go on this?
One last thing.
Okay, one last thing, Mike, and then come to
I was just
Mike.
going to say that. Okay, nobody's rating him higher than Edwin van der Sar and Peter Schmeichel. Like, those two guys are untouchable for Man United legends. But he is easily a legend for me because look at the stuff he has done. Come on, guys. You can't forget some of the performances. And I agree. The problem for De Gea is he didn't evolve with the times. He just then thought, okay, I'm a great shot stopper. I don't need to do anything else as a goalkeeper. He did not evolve his game at all. And that was his downfall because now you see all the goalkeepers are great on their feet. Obviously, Courtois maybe is a bit iffy at times, but he did not improve, and that is his downfall, and he keeps on getting worse and worse.
But here's my thing, though. And before I come to that, look, I am against this whole goalkeepers having to play with their feet. I'm against it.
Wow, what do you mean?
No. My thing, no, because see, my thing is, as I said on that video that I was doing about Pep and everything, there is not one strategy that defeats all. Because my theory is, if you hoof the ball, is the ball going to come back and they're going to hit you? The way football works over 90 minutes, I have possession, you have possession, I have possession, you have possession. Very rarely. How many times have you seen a team score a goal from the keeper playing from the back? How many times have you seen a goal from keeper?
I've seen it many times.
That's a lie. That's a lie. No, please. Let's do a percentage, the amount of time that a goal has been scored. From keeper all the way to a goal. It's
rare. I can tell you under 10 clips where they're doing that right now.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Like,
that's I'm talking about top tier. No, don't bring freaking on under 10.
Yeah.
What the heck?
This season,
no. Liverpool against City. I can score from a goal. Actually, wait, hold on. Let me come to Gatlock because he's been waiting. Gatlock, talk to me. What's your thoughts on Gatlock?
Okay, you see, I think I might need to revise my whole knowledge of football because I feel like the level of legends has dropped drastically low. So badly. I can literally put my toenail in Old Trafford for 10 years and I'm a legend, apparently. For some reason. I don't understand why. Because like I don't know why appearances now makes legends. Like no, I thought it was supposed to be impact. What you've done for the club. The things you've done. I didn't realize that all I need to do was have 2 good seasons of world class and I'm good. That's all.
Okay, real quick. Who is more of... Okay, sorry. Do you see Azpilicueta as a legend? As a Chelsea legend?
You see that I don't really watch Chelsea, but based on from the outside, he can probably scrape it. Like, scrape the level of legend because of what he has won.
That's interesting because a lot of people say that without a doubt, it's not even up for debate. Azpilicueta is a hands down legend.
It's up for debate.
But it's just. But the thing is that
it's up for debate, but I can understand either or for people. For the here, what I don't understand is, bro, you know the Europa League that they even won. Romero was actually the goalkeeper for them.
Yeah,
people forget that.
And also, who was the main keeper when they won the league last? Was it him or was it him?
It was him. It was him.
It was him.
Okay, that's fair.
How many years ago was that? Look,
Our attack that
It's something.
season.
Hey, got luck. It's something. It's something.
No,
Okay,
that
it's
season,
something,
our
but
attack.
Easy. Let go land.
that was under Fergie where they won the league almost every year. So it's like, and the thing is, he has had his highs. It's not as if the hair is trash or anything. He has had his highs, but he has had many lows. Yes, he has saved them in seasons, but God forbid they are challenging for the Champions League. We're talking about Europa League and top 4 here, and we're praising him for like. I'm sorry, United are not even up to in the level of the way under Fergie. This guy, they are challenging for top 4. They're challenging for Europa Leagues. He has made costly mistakes in those Europa. I remember that final where people said that he should not have been the one taking the penalties and stuff like that. Yeah, acting like as if the other United players missed their penalties.
So, that's interesting. What is your criteria for a club legend? Because see, what I decided with the whole Azpilicueta thing is I think we should separate it. Legend and club legend are 2 different things.
I think he's a veteran. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I was
he's a United veteran. He's been there for a long time.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, no, hold on. Here's the thing though. When we talk of an army veteran, is it just a guy who served for a long time or a guy who was exceptional at his service? Or is it just a guy who just served?
for a long time.
There are people who are veterans.
But the thing is, it depends. It depends on the club. Like,
Wait, hold on. What's it called? Kenny.
Yeah, but you see, legend, it depends on the club.
Sorry. So veteran, a person who has had long experience in a particular field. Yeah, okay, you're right. He's a veteran. Okay, veteran.
No. It wasn't just a. No.
That might be the first time I've ever heard somebody say veteran
that's
when
crazy.
it comes to football.
You can't be.
He's a United vet. Okay, can you go for it?
You can't be a veteran when there was like at least like 3-4 years when you were one of the best like players in your position. Like, come on, the guy. He wasn't just.
And there are about 3-4 years where he was one of the worst. Don't you think?
You see, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Shit performances.
No. You have to take the good and bad, but obviously I'm not about
the good and bad. He's average in between.
No. No, but the thing is that I think that legend, it depends on the club as well. Like different clubs, like it's going to be tougher to be a legend. Like it's going to be tougher to be a Man U legend than like probably a Chelsea legend or Fulham legend. Like it just is.
Yeah.
Whoa, Kenny, why are you crapping on your own club like that?
Because obviously they've been more successful for longer, so they have like more legends to like. So it's going to be tough as the club start winning like longer. It's going to be tough to be a legend at that.
Gary Neville's
Okay. Let me come to what's it called? AK and then Eric and then come to SM. AK.
All right.
Yeah, wait, can you hear me?
Yes.
HH, how bad have United fallen that we have to consider De Gea a United legend? This HH, we're putting De Gea in the same conversation as your Schmeichels, your Giggs, your Van der Sars.
You see. That's what I said. Thank you. Bro. You see, when AK says this, because see, this was my thing about Azpilicueta, is that are we giving the word legend the proper respect it deserves? Because if something is easy to attain, it loses its power and what makes it special. The harder something is to attain, the more special it is. Because if we're saying De Gea is a legend, that means we're not putting in the same category as Scholes, as Giggs, as Keane, as Schmeichel, and Van der Sar. And let's keep it real. No, Kenny, no. Legend or not? No, they're not tiers. You're either a United legend. There is only one tier. There's only one tier of club legend.
Of United.
We didn't. No, there's always tiers within like.
Hold on, AK.
Your horseman stuff. What do you need?
Oh yeah, you have to have a World Cup.
Exactly. For me, to be a legend, you have to win the top tier competition for a club, which is the Champions League. Yeah. And this guy doesn't even script the semi-final. And you want to call him.
So is it De Gea's fault that he was playing around Smalling, Jones, and all these bricks that United have had?
No, Mike. It is what it
was his
is.
fault against Messi in the quarterfinal.
No. But see, Mike, here's the thing. No, Mike. It is what it is.
So because he didn't win the Champions League, he can't be a legend.
Kenny,
That's crazy.
Kenny. It is what it is.
Oh my
It is what it is. I'm sorry. Hold on, Kenny. So AK.
I don't understand this. Yes, if he hasn't won the Champions League, he's not a legend. We're at Manchester United. We're not at some scrub club here.
It was there for 13
He
years.
is not in the category of Scholes. He's not in the category of Giggs. He's not in the category of, Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo. He's not in their level. He was the best, one of the best goalkeepers in the world for a period of, I'd say, 1 to 2 years, between 2016 and 2018. After 2018, this guy's just become a liability for United. And here's the most scathing thing about De Gea. My dad's a United fan. Me and him watched the David De Gea's debut, Man United versus West Brom in 2012. In that game, West Brom scored off a corner, which he couldn't claim, and a West Brom defender bullied him out of an aerial duel. 10 years later, David De Gea is not any better at claiming his crosses, at commanding his area, at kicking than he was before. If United are employing a goalkeeper who is the same as he was 10 years ago instead of moving with the times, he's not a legend. He's a player that at times for United did great things. He's a player that at times for United was a liability. We'll use the term legend is just, if you're using a term legend for David De Gea, the term legend may as well be just scrapped at this point. Because
because HH, I have to ask this because Spashnet made a great point in the chat. Is Hazard a Chelsea legend?
Hell yes. And I'll tell you why. Mike, no, Mike.
Did he win the Champions League?
Let me respond. Let me respond because here's the thing. He didn't win the
criteria. This is your criteria. You need to win the big trophies. Hazard didn't win the big trophy.
No. Let me respond. My answer is yes. Did he win the Champions League? No.
Okay.
Was he one of the best players in Premier League history? Yes, he was. So his exceptionality makes the excuse of him not winning a UCL. So for me, 100%. No, because Mike, hold on, Mike. Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing.
Is Aguero a City legend? Is Yaya a City legend?
Yeah, true. David Silva.
Yeah, but Michael,
didn't win the Champions League.
But just say, okay, Mike. Okay, wait, hold up. See, Mike. Here's the thing, though. For different clubs, you have different standards. For Man City,
okay, so then your standards as a Chelsea fan for Chelsea is you should be winning the top trophies. You tell me you won a treble in 2012, but that's InfoWars information. But you didn't win the Champions League under Hazard, so he's not a legend then for your club.
Mike,
your standard.
No. But Mike, if you're telling me not only one of the best players who has played for, another example, I don't know, Zola, I think he won the cup when we won his cup. Shout out to Stuttgart. He didn't win the UCL. But hold on, Zola is a Chelsea legend because Zola is one of the best players to ever play for Chelsea. So my thing though is it's Suplex. Let me land the I beg. So my thing is UCL. Obviously that's like the top tier thing and so forth. So if you don't win the UCL, there is other criteria because De Gea. No. Criteria number 1: did you win the UCL? No. Criteria number 2: are you one of the best keepers that United have had? No.
Yes, he's top 3.
No, he's not.
Is he top 5 goalkeeper for Man United?
No. We're not doing top 5. If you ask any United fan, who is the greatest keeper that you've? No, hold up. If you ask any United fan. And I'll bring Baybench back in here. If I ask any United fan, who is the best keeper you have? Most guys will say Schmeichel. And guys will say, yo, Van der Sar.
He's more of a legend than Schmeichel. Nobody's arguing that.
Yes, there's rankings to this.
There's no rankings, my friend. What are you talking about? You're the legend, not a legend. What are you talking about rankings?
No, there is.
There's no rankings.
Come on. So wait. So
wait. Hold on. AK.
I have this question to the panel. David De Gea won 1 Premier League. He won 1 FA Cup. What else did he win? A Carabao Cup. In which
Europa
of those
League.
trophies was David De Gea with the top 3 player on Manchester United for? He wasn't the top 3 player for Man United in the Premier League winning season. Van Persie was the most important player. Leo was still good in 2013, even though he aged. He just became finished after. In the FA Cup, was he the most important player? In the Carabao Cup, was he the most important player? We talk about Hazard here because Hazard was Chelsea's. You could say Chelsea's top 3 most important players at least when Chelsea won 2 Premier Leagues. David De Gea wasn't their most important player.
No. I got a question for you.
Can I ask a question for the panel?
I got a question for you. Is Gary Neville a club legend? Because he wasn't the top performer for that Man United side, was he?
Gary Neville.
We could apply this, bro. Like we could apply this.
Yeah, like Michael Carrick maybe or guys like that.
But you would say Zeman. Neville falls. See.
You see,
wait. No. Neville is sort of in the Aspilicueta thing because some United guys will be like, no, the guy wasn't that great. It was not crucial.
Aspilicueta was important.
Other guys would say no. Other guys would say that
Chelsea legend.
No.
What are you talking about?
Zeman. Some United guys will say that if Homeboy came through the academy, was consistently in the team and had consistent performances, they'll say longevity tax, consistency tax, boom. The issue with De Gea is you had an amazing high. Bro, De Gea has arguably one of the worst keepers in the world at the top tier level in the last few years. That's the issue.
It's not even top tier. It's top 4 level tier.
Yeah. If you want to say he was like average, he had good to bad performances.
Horrible, Zeman, horrible. The issue is this: we want to attribute legend to a guy who has had numerous horrendous mistakes. Horrendous mistakes. So Zeman, we are to apply legendary status to a player who his own fans want him out. How does that work? No. Sorry, Zeman, just explain. Okay, wait, Zeman, explain this to me. So we want to attribute legendary status to a player where his own fans are campaigning for him to be sold.
No.
That's nothing to do. What do
you want about?
What do you mean? Wenger's Arsenal legends. They were still saying that he should leave. He's still the greatest manager. They were still.
Kenny, hold on. I gave a call to you guys. Michael, hold on, guys. It's true. I gave a call to you guys. That it's because some of those players were trash. That's the reason why De Gea looked good. That is actually just average. Because when you are playing with big boys in a team that you're supposed to be winning, like winning the Premier League, competing for the Champions League, you don't even stand out at all. You're just there.
18. Bro, what are you talking? He was never the best goalkeeper in the world ever in his career. Let's just call it what it is, man. That's like hypothetical. Like, I don't know why people are trying to guess him up. Like
for a year, wait, hold on. Let me call SM. Hold up, SM. Hold up, SM.
H, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't rank David De Gea I don't see him as a Man United legend, but the way you guys are talking about, you make him seem like he was playing for Bournemouth his whole career. Like, you guys need to chill, okay? Like don't. No, I'm gonna say he was bad. He had bad seasons.
Sorry. No, go.
He had bad seasons for sure. Like, I'm not gonna deny that, but like Michael was correct. If you replace David De Gea and you put any other keeper with a defense that they've been pulling off for years and years, this club will be 17th in the season. I guarantee.
And you know this for a fact.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
But I don't put him as a club legend because I mean, people saying, "What about Aguero?" Yeah, but Aguero won us the title in 2012. Aguero, scored many important goals that actually contributed to the trophies that we won. De Gea,
no. Here's a great. You can't even bring up the Aguero thing because even if he didn't contribute to the UCL, for as long as City exists,
I said he's a legend.
Aguero will have one of the most iconic moments of all time that club.
But the things with De Gea, it's like, okay, you had one season. I'll give you 17-18. What else? Because the year after, we all saw it. The guy fell off and it got worse and worse and worse. And let's put it, the game passed him. Okay, no more was the game of just only about shot stopping and looking cool while you're diving in the air. Now it's like, okay, can you pass? And look at the Sevilla game this year away from home. The second leg. You saw how bad he was. The way he couldn't command his box, couldn't even tell his defenders where to be. That's not what a goalkeeper should do. You know? Like, a goalkeeper should be able to actually manage his own box and actually save. Now, when you're not even able to save, and if you look at the FA Cup final, he didn't dive for the first goal. He let the second one go in. Like, come on, at that point...
No, actually, do you know what's funny? Something just came to me. If De Gea was English, he came from Manchester, he came through the academy, I think United fans would be far more sympathetic with him than they are now.
Easily. English tax lives. No matter
No. It's not even English tax. I think if he came from Manchester, he came through the academy, guys would be more sympathetic.
Yeah, but that's how it's in every league. Like, if you're a foreigner, you go into a league, you have more expectations upon you because you're not from here, you know? Like, if De Gea was playing for Dortmund or Bayern, they will still do the same thing to him. So, you know, if he was from Manchester, the fans would be more, okay, you know what, but he's from here. You know, it's like the Johnny Minerals of Chelsea. They go, oh, Mount is our boy. He grew up in the academy. Yeah, but he was shit. He's not good. So that's my opinion there. It's like, you did your thing. Time to move on. Onana's going to cook, so it is what it is.
And also, what made it worse was when that FA Cup final, because that actually gave C the treble.
No. See, here's the issue. What is the last memory De Gea has of United? The last memory is when Gundogan shot, De Gea dived 3 lifetimes afterwards. That's the last memory of David De Gea. I'm sorry. Let's be serious. That's going to be the last thing ever. Is that he dived after the earth was evolving to the sun. That's what happened. So wait, hold on. Let me. Okay, Eric.
Okay, so I'm going to say some things that some people might not like. Okay, I'll get to De Gea.
Oh, Eric, I saw your response to Nini's pinned tweet about how can you not like Mason Mount? And then you agree that, how come? Eric, can you please tell Nini that he should unpin the tweet because Mount is no longer a Chelsea player? Because Eric, I've tried, and that tweet is still pinned. And I said, Nini, you know that you're a massive Chelsea content creator. And when guys go to your Twitter profile, the first thing they say is a pinned tweet of, how can you not like Mason Mount? Eric, you saw that video with Mount and Papa in the United dressing room.
I mean...
And you heard what Papa was saying to him.
I'm sure that... Look...
Eric, did you hear what Papa was saying to his Pekin?
There are lots of Chelsea fans who, they were in a...
Eric, just look. I don't want to get angry. Just go about the day. The guy
let's divert the talk. Look, Chelsea Twitter is okay. Look, I'm gonna be unpleasant. I'm gonna say some things people might not like. Okay, just give me some time.
Okay,
we'll get to the hair. Aspe is 100% a Chelsea legend. There's no question. In fact. Some people would say he's a Premier League legend. There are fans of other clubs.
Hey, look. Keep him as your legend, okay?
He could go as an EPL legend. Like, let's not try to.
At the end of the day, it's just.
Eric, let's please move. Continue.
Let me land. Thank you. So it's my time to speak. So a lot of fans of other clubs, not just Chelsea fans, would actually say Aspe, whenever they play against him, he's so tough, blah blah blah. He's known for his defensive stuff. He's not so good going forward. We know it. But to be fair to Aspe, the time he was doing his thing and he was in his prime, going forward wasn't as important. You can say, look at Gary Neville. He's a United legend, right? Most United fans would call him a legend, but he wasn't amazing offensively, so it's not as if you have to be the modern day player to be. But anyway, I think the whole thing about quality as well, I don't think you have to be like the most talented player in your position in the club's history to be a legend. I think Aspe is a legend because I think his performances have been so consistent, even though towards the end I wanted him. I mean, I wanted us to be out for like 3 years.
Yeah, you were campaigning
But
for him to be
I
sent
was
out.
I was trying to get rid of him. I was saying, you know,
Called him a bum, insulted his family.
I didn't do that, but no. So, which is why the whole thing about, you know, United fans wanting the hair, that doesn't have anything to do with his time in, you know, overall. Because towards the end of your career, you expect to drop off and you expect to not be as good, right? So I don't think you just.
Oh, so drop off to an extent where people are making 2-hour MC movies about how bad you are.
For a goalkeeper,
I don't know about that.
Eric, it was 2.5 hours.
Okay,
Eric,
okay,
20th Century Fox came before the footage.
Let me just hit you with a few breaks
like
before I talk about the hair. So, do I think Asp is a legend? 100%. He's been consistent over the years, and you said yourself it's supposed to be difficult. So, I don't think you should be a legend just because you were good for one season or maybe half a season, and then that makes you a legend. No. You have to be, you know, world class or amazing, or, you know, at least one of the best in your team for more than a few seasons, in my opinion. So it's a combination of those two things. And the third thing is the trophies. You have to be important for your team when they win the trophies, and you have to win those trophies as well. So for all those things, Aspie ticks all those boxes. Another player who ticks all those boxes, people might not agree, but I think Gary Cahill is a Chelsea legend, 100%. Gary Cahill is so underrated.
How did we get here?
That's a
Are
crazy
you done? Are you done?
No, I don't know about that one, Eric. I don't know about that one.
Eric, maybe since you were not with us, you've sniffed a few things, smoked a few things.
I don't smoke.
Eric, I'm with you with Aspilicueta. Eric,
can I land?
Eric, stay in the air.
No, I need to land.
Eric, this runway is not coming towards you, Eric.
No. The fuel.
Gary Cahill.
Yo, Eric, can I ask you a question?
No, don't ask
Can
me a
any people
question.
visit you before they, you know, ascend?
No, actually, Eric, can you please get to De Gea? You've been going around. Is De Gea a legend or not? You've been going around and giving us this look. Is he a legend or not?
The last thing before I talk about De Gea, I don't think Zola is a legend. Sorry to say. He didn't win enough. I'm sorry.
Shut your goddamn ass up.
Eric, you're ruining his childhood.
Eric,
I'm not mad at it.
Eric,
you said yourself.
Eric,
Eric,
you're no.
Eric,
Eric, let me just get things straight. You're telling me that Gary Cahill is a Chelsea legend, but Zola is not a Chelsea legend. Eric, is that what you're saying to me right now?
Yeah.
It's Cahill.
How many know what I heard that, right?
No, hold on. How many Champions League did Zola win?
Eric, I couldn't give it down. Eric, I couldn't give it down.
So
I couldn't give it down.
No, but you said it yourself. That's what you said.
Eric, so Arbeloa is a Madrid legend then?
What did
and Spain legend?
Yes.
How involved was he in the games?
Oh.
How involved was he? What did he do?
Lucas Vazquez is a legend for Real Madrid.
Lucas Vazquez is an injury player, but he's
a veteran now. Vazquez is a veteran.
Okay, Joy. Eric, can you just get to De Gea? God,
Okay,
you don't have to talk about this guy.
So David De Gea is not a United legend, not in my opinion, because you can talk about his performances, his consistency, blah blah blah. At the end of the day, even with how many breaks he's laid in the last how many years, even with all the terrible disaster classes, I can still say he's probably been much better for them than he's been bad for them. Overall, he's probably still like 6 at least out of 10. But the reality is he didn't win enough. He didn't win enough and he wasn't involved enough. He wasn't one of the best players for long enough. So that's just the reality. So yeah.
You know, I thought Cahill would never be mentioned again.
Wait, Michael.
Disrespect Cahill all you want. Cahill is a Champions League winner. Disrespect him all you want.
I'm sorry.
Hazard at Chelsea.
He does. No, I'm sorry. Cahill, I'm sorry.
You know what? Even if I couldn't, I don't call me an AFCON wreck. I don't care.
Can I
Eric, that's a yellow, man. That's a yellow.
Can I?
That's a yellow.
Nah, this is
Okay, hold on. Let me get some dubs and I'll come to that and everything. That's Eric. That is I'm disgusted.
HH, you know how Eric says things are happening, or things are definitely happening in this stream. Gary Cahill.
Gary Cahill.
I mean,
Wait, that's the
okay.
first
Eric,
Wait. Actually, wait. Hold up. Suvik, Guardiola or Kim Min-jae?
Guardiola.
Kim.
Nah,
Kim.
Nah.
Guardiola is really good at the ball, but Kim Min-jae as a
Guardiola.
defender, the guy's insane. Kim Min-jae's defending is insane. Shout out to your boy Ifman. Thank you for the dub, Ifman. David De Gea is a money legend. 4 times 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that is number 4.
4. He won it 4 times.
Yeah, doesn't he have the most in Man U history?
Yeah, I think
that's the most.
I mean, guys, hold up. No disrespect to United, but with all due disrespect, how does a keeper win Player of the Year 4 times?
Look at the players.
Do you know how bad you have to be for your keeper to win Player of the Year 4 times?
Unfortunately.
The hell? Okay, so sorry. 5 times Player of the Year, Team of the Year, 2 times EPL Golden Glove. Oh, FIFA World 11 2018. So this was pre-World Cup, obviously. Man United record of. Oh, hold up. So this is more than Schmeichel and Van der Sar.
I said this.
Yeah.
Most appearances for Man U. Best goalkeeper for 17-18 season. Classic keeper performance against Arsenal December 2017.
Yeah.
You see, these are just stats. These are just stats. These are just, what does this mean? What does this mean? This is just numbers. What does this mean? It's just numbers, man. It's just numbers. It's just numbers.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
The 4 times you won the Player of the Year, what exactly did they win those years?
Nothing.
Are you gonna blame the goalkeeper for the team being trash? Like, come on.
No. Here's the thing. You can be an amazing player for a club and you can be respected, but to be a legend, shouldn't that be better criteria? I mean, this is good.
Hold on.
So basically, we can give you a dub.
Can I ask a question?
We can give you a dub. We're a legend.
Is Neymar a Brazil legend? Even though he's the highest goal scorer for them.
No,
but you see, he's the highest goal scorer for them. He was their best player in the 2014 World Cup. No. See, Gavin is the key thing. In 2018 World Cup.
See, my thing is that what standards does your club have?
Yes.
The best team in English.
Let's just say a legend of Scunthorpe doesn't need to win the UCL.
Respect Scunthorpe.
A legend of Lugo doesn't need to win La Liga. A legend of Braunschweig doesn't need to win Bundesliga. A legend of Pescara doesn't need to win the Serie. A legend of L'Argent, Je suis, Combien ça coûte doesn't need to win Uber Eats.
Hey, respect.
That's what it is.
Agent, you know what's funny? All those clubs that you mentioned, I think you jinxed those clubs because now they keep getting relegated.
Shout out to Pescara.
You know, Scunthorpe, I think, are now in the 6th division, and now Eintracht Braunschweig are in the 3rd division.
And Lugo are in the 3rd division.
Oh, he's actually
Shout out Lugo, man. Shout out Lugo. Hold up. Talent FC, you bum. Rooney after 2013-17 was ass and fat. Is he a legend?
Yes.
Rooney is a United legend. Let's stop. He's a United legend.
Let's not disrespect Rooney.
Okay, it doesn't matter. He's a United. I mean, what's Talent FC? Are you dumb or are you stupid? Of course, he's a United legend. You moron. Talent FC. Manchester racial abuse and increase next season. You know what? I'm just going to just ban this moron.
No, it's idiot. Say what you want to say. I'm actually worried about that. Because
I'm actually worried.
Imagine De Gea's insults to the black guy.
Okay. Shout to that. Daddy Us. Aside German Bundesliga, does Bomian have any pull? Here's the thing. Do you know what I want to happen? If I know it won't happen, I actually want Bayern to get Kane. Because if Bayern gets Kane, what is Daddy Us going to say?
No, he's gonna find a new angle, man.
Wait. Is this guy a Barca supporter?
I think he's a Barca or Chelsea.
Yeah, I think he's a Barca fan.
God forbid he's a Chelsea supporter. God forbid.
Chelsea.
Daddy is not a Chelsea fan. God forbid. It's not. No. Hell no. Lie. I say lie. It's not just lie.
Let me give you an example.
Guy mad.
You know how you just said that you wanted Kane to go to Bayern just to see Daddy's reaction. You know that's how we feel sometimes when it comes to you and Mbappe or you and Hazard.
Wait, hold on. Wait. You mean 5-2?
Oh my
God. 5-2?
You see what I mean?
No, Gaflock. Are you referring to 5-2?
Michael,
did you see the in Cameroon? Because Mbappe's in Cameroon, he had the whole military protecting him.
Mike,
this guy's the president of France. I swear.
I saw a tank. I actually thought Nathan Drake was about to come out from nowhere because I know that you fight a tank in Uncharted 2.
He had the whole Cameroon army with him. I swear,
bro. And look, that's army. Look, shout out to army. But look, Mbappe man, he's just doing his thing. You see, do you know? Okay, side note. Africa have suffered, man.
Do you
know the kind of players that we would have had?
Zidane.
I'm Somali. We'd have no one.
Okay.
No, but if you're gonna go there,
Dadius chat.
No, I won't. Wait, hold on. Talent FC. Sir Pep Guardiola changed the game.
yeah.
England Euro 21 PNP with tech. Espanias and Lemny lost their identity from youth. England take over football. Cry haters.
Okay, so English talent didn't watch the game because all they did was park the bus.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Guys, Talent FC is a moron.
HH, you know what's also crazy? That was their first title in 39 years.
Who?
No, hold
England.
on. I'm gonna push
God
back here.
save the king.
Look, man, shout out Colwell, man. Shout out your boy Colwell.
I love how England can win one thing.
Wait, hold on. Let me just get this dot and then come here. So, thank you for the dub. Brian Robson is one of Man United's greatest legends. He was a key player in the 80s, but won only 2 FA Cups. He won 2 Premier Leagues, not in the starting 11 past the prime, but is a legend as he carried Man United's dark hair. You see, this is something similar that applies to Hazard.
This is
because see, really? No. Hold up. There's a thing called quality class. There's a thing called quality tax. So, Mike.
Wait. Let
me go to Mike. Mike, stop rubbing your head. Mike, look straight at the camera. Michael talks football. MTF. How dare you? No, hold up. Both of you. Mike and Eric.
How dare you?
You know what? I'm going to call you Rick Blue. No, Eric Green. Eric Green. How dare you open your rotten mouth? How do you open that your rotten mouth and say that Eden Michael Hazard is not a Chelsea legend?
I didn't say that.
Eric, how dare you open your mouth?
I didn't say that.
I said Zola.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Mike, how dare you open your rotten mouth and question Hazard's
Chelsea legend?
You questioned it.
Well, because you guys, I was going by your logic because he didn't win a Champions League for you guys, and it's your standards because you say treble this, treble that. We've won 4 Champions Leagues, so
let's be clear here.
We're not question Hazard. No, so Eric, Eric, you're young.
United.
Hold on, Eric. You see, what Ifan just said here shows you why. Because Eric, I'm older than you by like a few years because I'm still pretty young. See, Eric, you're young. Eric, I don't think you know what Zola was. Eric,
all I'm saying.
Eric, no, Eric, no.
Hold on.
No, Eric, you've already embarrassed yourself by saying Gary Cahill. So, Eric, I'm looking at you differently now. Eric, from July 8th, I'm looking at you differently now.
Look at me however you want.
I'm looking at you differently now. What's you going to say? What's in? Okay, mouth. What are you?
It is what it is.
Useless.
No Champions League.
Look at his face, guy.
You said the Champions League.
Please, my friend, shut up, man.
Eric, can I ask you a question?
Look at his mouth. I cake. Look at his mouth. I cake. I just shove that earphone inside your ear, man. Look. Let me continue. No. Let me not vex this guy. He's idiots. Zoteng TV. It was time to go. He's been a 7.5 out of 10. CR7 destroyed. You know what? I think CR7 is to blame. David Hare was our 3rd best keeper behind Schmeichel and VDS. Hero, not legend. Okay, guys. You see,
he's a hero.
Here's the thing. Final versus Villarreal, and that World Cup kills his legacy. Guys, You let in 11 straight penalties.
And you missed
hold on. Let me tell the whole story. You let 11 straight penalties. The opposite keeper scores his, and you are the only person who ends up missing. That man is a legend.
It's not even that, HH. It's not even just that. You've let your arch rival score 19 goals on you in 4 separate matches in the league.
But which team was he playing for?
Call out the Derby Tats. Hold on, Times FC. Okay, Van der Aas, UCL 2011, and 09 performance was class.
Are we really going to do this to a guy who's in intensive care?
Oh, no. That's what it is. Guys, hold up. Guys, prayers up. Prayers up. Guys, hold up. Prayers up for Van der Sar. Legend. Forget about United. Legend. So please, prayers up. Because I follow Edgar Davids on Instagram, and Edgar Davids, I look, man, prayers up for Van der Sar, because that is a legend. because my start of football begins with Van der Sar, 1995. So that was when I myself. So, bro, prayers up for Van der Sar, man. Please pull through, bro. If David De Gea is not a club legend, then Nistelrooy and Van Persie are not legends. One EPL but no UCL.
Careful.
Is Van Persie a United a legend?
No, I wouldn't.
No. We just say that because we stole it from Arsenal and won the league when they haven't won since 2004. That's why we always say he's a United legend. We just
BMF. BMF. That's a stick up. That's not a legend status. That's just a stick up.
That's like me saying Henry's a Barcelona legend. He's really not like a Barcelona legend.
No, hell no. So Henry jumped on a bandwagon, got his UCL, then went back to Arsenal with a full beard. David De Gea is best player post Fergie era.
Okay. I mean that's that might be.
Because we've been shit.
No, there's a valid point.
It's because they've been so hard that he's good.
No, but obviously they've been bad, but you can't blame it. Obviously, it's like the Robson guy that said
maybe right. Because I'm trying to think. Yeah, he may be because Sanchez flopped. I don't rate Rashford.
Bruno.
Please. Okay. Without David De Gea, they would have a Chelsea season mid-table. Oh wow. David De Gea was EPL best goalkeeper 14 to 18.
No, not enough. 14.
Old school half of football knowledge. Oh wow. so trouble for United next season. They glued and CR37 gone. # bold. I don't think they're getting in trouble. No. So Kevin Taylor. Oh god, here we go.
That dub again.
Hold on. Wait,
that pick of you was.
I know. It's me eating in the old crib. 5 minutes into the Spain versus Portugal game, De Gea entered the wrong change room and saw red. Then he was rocked in like a set of tomatoes. Let me just get the brick right here. He can't adapt, and he made more bad decisions than Britney Spears. So here's the thing, though. You spelled Britney Spears wrong, and everything. And also. Also, apparently, they said that she hit herself.
No.
No. It's the security guard.
The latest update I had was that she hit herself. That's what I heard.
Hold on.
And guys, I'm not the break. Guys, I have sometimes is on my playlist. So I'm cool with Britney.
She's trying to ruin the next LeBron James.
Yeah, sometimes that's it's a damn good track. Don't hate.
I think his name is actually Kevin.
Wait, David C. It's not that we hate him. His hype men make us.
So 18 and Mbappe.
Does he have hype men?
Yeah, he does.
Have you seen?
I remember there was a time they called him better than Neuer.
Bro, that was like in the Champions League final, right? When Courtois made those saves, and Mark was trying to compare David De Gea to Courtois. That you see, Courtois is upgraded this game, and Courtois responded to him saying that don't compare me to him because actually what I did was I upgraded my game, became more better with my feet, able to control command my body. So
and that's because
it makes us say that's like I don't personally hate David De Gea. It's just that his fanboys just act like he's like our savior or something like that.
HH and Mbappe.
No, that's HH.
Wait, hold on. I'm first. So Onana will be another scapegoat for United fans.
Nah.
Onana will be making more saves considering United are not as defensive solid as Inter. United need a striker. No, I think Onana will actually do well for United.
Bro, we had to.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I think hold up. Wait, let's put this results. Okay, Mega. That's Onana era is going to hit like crap.
Yo, see, this is why I'm saying, like, his fanboys are literally waiting for now to make his first mistake and be like, oh, that's right.
Is Eden Hazard a McDonald's legend?
He's a Burger King legend. He's a KFC legend. He's a McDonald's legend.
I'm not going to respond to that. I'm not responding to that crap. Hold up. Jay Jokin. David De Gea had Smalling and Jones in 17-18, so there's Dodd.
That's Dodd. That's
Exactly.
Okay.
That might be Doy, bro. That might be Doy. Hold on. Calvin Taylor. Wait, let me just put this to dubs. I'll get back to let me read the dubs. Kevin Taylor, after the 2018 World Cup, De Gea was doping on morphines and he borrowed Lukaku's boots. That's why he was horrible and he saves ball like he has dinosaur arms. Kelvin.
I think
these jokes are getting worse.
At least he tries.
Mike.
It's the effort that counts.
No, wait. Remember Joaquin Phoenix in Joker?
Yes.
Yeah. When he had a list of jokes.
Bro, this is worse. Bro, this is worse.
Yo, respect him, man. We got
guys, hold on. How do you go up as a stand-up as you're going through your list of jokes?
Bro, if you have a list, you shouldn't be doing stand-up. I'm sorry, bro. Like, why you going up there?
Look, man, I need to watch that film again, man. Wing. Dear rich athlete, stop dating flat chicks. Thanks.
I know, right? They're all so, like, they have nothing there.
He's spitting facts, but he's spitting.
Like, I don't think where I am, bro. But
all right. Moving on swiftly. David C. With Onana, it doesn't matter if our players lose the ball. We can press and win it back quickly high up the pitch. With De Gea, we'd be camped in a half, lose the ball and concede. I'm excited. No. Yes. Onana is a better. I think he's just as good a shot stopper, and he's way better with his feet. Guys, Onana was arguably one of the best players in that UCL final.
He was the best player.
Pep
literally said that Onana was the guy they were worried about more than.
For sure.
And what did Pep say about why he's a UCL winner? Pep said, I'm a UCL winner because
of the most creative legend in the world.
Elijah said you wanted to talk. Can you grab the mic?
Yes, I do. So I've been very listening attentively, and I enjoyed the debate on the legend stuff because it's very valid. For me, the legend thing is very subjective. But when I go to Manchester United's website and I go to the Legends player profile, your boy De Gea is not on there, unfortunately. If anything, they consider Alex Stepney a greater legend than David De Gea, and I agree with that. I don't really think De Gea is a legend. He's a great. He's a Manchester United great. For me, you got to rank the legends thing. Legend, great, cult hero. Cult hero meaning maybe you had one moment that changed the face of a game or that won something for a team for a moment, or maybe you saved your team from relegation or that clutch penalty. And then great would be, this is where you throw in your club servants, some of your club servants, some that ended up being traitors, unfortunately, i.e. Michael Owen. Mount, and then maybe Van Persie. And then
Eric, stop smiling there, man. You were repping Mount, bro. So I don't know why you were laughing.
And then legend. When we talk legend, this is when I throw in. Clinical. You know, like without this person, this team is useless. You know what I mean? If, for example, that's when you throw in. And if I'm talking about Manchester United, this is where you throw in your Bobby Charltons. This is where you throw in your Eric Cantonas. This is where you throw in. Keane, Rooney,
Schmeichel,
those guys. And unfortunately, they even have Carrick up here. But that's just me. For me, you got to rate. I consider him a great. I consider Manchester United great because if I look at the resume of Schmeichel, I'm going too far. If I look at Stepney and if I look at De Gea, I'm going to take Stepney over De Gea, in my opinion, because I think De Gea's fallen. He's done more harm for the club recently than he has done good.
Damn.
That's me. And then if I look at for you guys, for Chelsea's aspect, Azpilicueta, in my opinion, is a Chelsea legend. Why? Because if he is not in part of that defense, especially in your Champions League final during the pandemic, I don't think you guys win that final. That's me.
Yep.
But here's my thing with Hazard. Hazard is not I don't consider him a Chelsea legend. I consider him a Chelsea great. Why do I consider? Hold on. I'll explain why.
Elijah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Hold on. Let me explain why.
Can you drop the brick?
Hold on. Hazard is a Chelsea great because he's in the same realm as these other two guys. Peter Osgood. Do you know who Peter Osgood is?
Hold on.
Hold on. All right. That's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. No. We're not cooking.
Let me cook.
Who?
Hold on. No, you know who that is. You
know who that is. You know who Peter Osgood is.
Elijah. No, Elijah. With all due disrespect, I don't give a damn who Peter Osgood is.
Okay.
How dare you put him in the same category as Eden Michael Hazard? Are you high?
Look at this.
Eric.
Watch this. What do all these three players have in common? Eden Hazard, Joe Franco-Zola, and Peter Osgood. All three did not win the Champions League. All three won a secondary tournament.
Elijah, no. Elijah, no. Hold up. No, you can't finish. No, you can't. I'm asking you a question right now. Elijah, say with a straight face right now. Tell me Peter Osgood is as good a player as Zola and Hazard. Tell me right now. Say it right now.
He won you.
I don't know. No. That's not the question I asked. No, Elijah, answer the question right now. Tell me with a straight face that Peter Osgood is as good a player as Eden Hazard and Zola. Tell me. Say it right now.
Yes, I see
me personally, if you catch him up to today's standards,
you're on crack.
You don't believe in the P. You don't believe in the P. The P was a good player.
Hold on. Watch this. Chelsea did not win a trophy between the time they won their first league title in 1955. They did not win another trophy until 1970. And your boy Peter Osgood showed up and won two.
He's not Elijah. He's not my boy.
Hold on.
Elijah, he's not my boy.
Relax.
No. Don't say your boy. He's not my boy. I don't rep Osgood. Elijah, I don't rep Osgood.
But he's
Shout out to what he did and everything. Elijah, you see, here's the thing right now. I'm going to start listing the footballing cardinal sins. One of them is comparing Peter Osgood.
Respect the odds.
The one thing is putting the Wizard of Oz in the same category as Zola and Thingy, bro. Okay.
Wait, hold on. So,
okay. I'm not repping Kansas or Dorothy.
Hold on, no, Osgood is not a
Elijah, Dorothy is not as good. Is not in the same category as Zola and Thingy, bro. I'm not repping Dorothy, bro. I'm not repping Dorothy.
Let me throw you another wrench. This is just opinion because remember when we're talking about legends, goats. Remember when we're talking about legends, goats, and all of this stuff. This is all subjective. This is all based on the players, right?
No, it's not.
Hold on. Let me throw you.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No. I don't play that crap of like, oh, in my opinion, oh, in my view, oh, let's agree to disagree. No.
But you do that.
There are sensitive. Look, Elijah, I'm a Sith. I deal in absolutes. I'm a Sith. I'm a Sith. I deal in absolutes. There's right and there's wrong.
I have a very important question now because you just said we just heard everyone heard you. So you're either a legend or you're not, and it's not up for debate. So what does it take to be a Chelsea? What does it take to be a Chelsea legend? That's my question.
Exactly. Because hold on. Because if I can add to that, Eric. If we go through some clubs. And if I can be honest, and I can be honest with you guys here, and you guys answer me this question. Do you really, and it doesn't matter what club it is, do you really have to have a continental title to be considered a legend, or no?
A legend?
Because
of your club?
No.
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 Okay, so then why are we doing this idea of he doesn't have a UCL, therefore he is not a legend, or he doesn't have this, that, and the third, he is not a legend? Because you could be one of the most impactful players ever on your club, and your club can still be useless. I.e., Mark Noble. Mark Noble, his club, he went to this championship 3 times, but they consider him a legend.
But it's West Ham.
Because
Okay,
yeah, because
wait, hold on, quick, because we have to move to the next topic real quick. So let me just hit quick dubs. From Money Mates. TMZ Core pretends to be Kanye and gets back with Kim. Okay, all right. Let's keep it moving. Abrit's fair. Inter going to get Jan Sommer as a 9 mil.
Yeah.
No, that's just. Why are they going for Jan Sommer? Why?
Bro, Inter's moving backwards. How do you hustle backwards, man?
That's crazy. I mean,
18 million.
Look, I think they're trying to sign too. They're trying to sign.
So basically, this basically means that the Onana deal is pretty much done. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's
pretty much done.
They're going for a goalkeeper now.
Look, here's the thing. Inter, just keep that dude away from the bridge. That's what I ask. Because again,
in the world.
I'm done with that dude. Mike, I never mentioned a name, so you don't even know what I'm talking about. Keep that dude away from the bridge.
Skywalker.
I am done. I wash my hands clean
What do you
off
do?
that dude.
HH, do you want me to bring up the video that you...
That's your start.
Mike, I told you, I'm on threads. Okay, shout out to the threads. Okay, Wink. I believe Killian can teach the old dog.
Oh God.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's keep it going. Old school half up. God is unfair. Zendaya flat.
What the heck is going on?
Wow. Okay. Wow.
What the?
Yeah, that's just.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I was gonna say something very crazy, but I'm gonna keep it for myself.
I like
That's it.
Respect the Zen.
You guys are sick. Okay, what's it called? Hokage, is your mic working?
Yeah.
All right. So.
My goat.
All right. Now here's the thing right here. Let me just lay down the line because I definitely hear from Hokage. So my thing here was this. So Schweinsteiger said that he didn't put all the blame on Pep, but that Pep is partly responsible for German football being adversely affected because of the brand of football that he brought in, which in turn meant that Germany went into a World Cup where Füllkrug was their only traditional striker. And they went into a World Cup where Shai Havertz was their main frontman. Now, do you know what's so funny? So on YouTube, I was watching, there's this channel which is amazing, which shows you all the World Cup goals from previous World Cups. So I was watching the 98 edition and the 02 edition, and I was like, Muller? Old Muller. Muller from the late 90s and so forth. Bierhoff, Klinsmann, Closer. I was like, Germany had strikers, plural, strikers. And I'm like, how does a country produce strikers, multiple, and they're going in with Kai Havertz, who will tell himself that he ain't a striker, and Füllkrug. And I'm like, how did that happen? And my thing though is, hence why I said, look, see, Pep is partly to blame.
For what?
Now Pep is to blame.
Can I land? So my thing is, but here's the thing. See, you don't want to use the word blame because blame has negative connotation. Because again, Pep didn't do anything negative. That's his philosophy. It is what it is. The main blame is the German FA. Pep didn't point a gun to your head and said, all you guys must now play football and must now produce all these players like this. Mm-hmm. But Germany getting high off of, remember, Pep, 2013, 2014, he was one of the biggest names in football based on how he came out through the gates and totally had a crazy impact on football with that Barca team. So everyone was like, oh no, this is how football must be played. This is what must happen. So for me, the main blame is the German FA saying that, oh no, we have to produce players like this and operate in this kind of a way. Whereas that, which is what I made in the video, is football is cultural. But I think, look, I've talked, I said everything in my video. Hokage, where are you at with this whole thing of who's mainly to blame? How much blame does Pep have? Does Pep have any blame with regards to Germany not being able to make it through the group stages in 2 World Cups? And going to a World Cup with Havertz and Füllkrug as your main frontmen?
I don't know. Was he talking about just the national team or Bundesliga?
I think so.
No, German football.
German football as a whole.
As a whole. So Bundesliga.
No. So he basically said that like Germany is known for having very physical guys, strong guys, and guys that never stop running, and they lost that physicality and that intensity in the last few years.
I mean, Gretzky's still there.
Yeah, but still.
I don't. I honestly don't know, HH. Like, I try not to think about Germany. They give me depression at this point. Like, I don't know. HH, what is? You just said it right there. Kai Havertz, a farm boy, on like this guy should be a farmer. Like, bro, he literally raises chickens. And, like, he's better than raising chickens. And I don't know, HH. I don't like the disrespect on Füllkrug because that guy should have started every game at the World Cup. He was a president for Germany. Hansi Flick is slowly becoming a fraudulent guy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with German football at all. I don't get it.
Okay. Let me ask the question then. Do you think it's just a cycle issue where it's just a bad cycle, or do you feel that from the very low levels there hasn't been an insistence on actually getting strikers? Because since that's something that I don't really know whether from junior level you don't have coaches who are now pushing strikers, and guys who may be strikers are now having to now be better on the ball, play deeper, play as midfielders, be much more complete players rather than just focusing on just solely striking.
I think it's more of it's a bad cycle. That's what it is, because right now Germany does have some pretty good players coming up. Musiala, Wirtz, Malik Thiaw, who's starting at AC Milan these days. Like, there's talent coming up, and you could always rely on Germany to produce good goalies. But the striker position is weird to me because I just think overall the striker position isn't really an attractive position for people growing up anymore. Like, I don't think look at example for Brazil. Brazil is known for fullbacks, wingers, strikers. There is not a promising winger. There's not a promising striker. There's not a promising fullback coming out of Brazil right now.
Well, there is a promising striker.
Don't talk about Vitor Roque.
No,
I don't know.
Endrick as well. There's
Endrick, I don't care about him. Until he does something, I don't care about him. So those guys, there's nothing promising coming out of there. I just think we're just going through a bad cycle. Germany needs to wait a couple more years until Musiala is more mature, Wirtz is more mature, Thiaw is more mature. Because if you look at Pep, Germany doesn't try to play a Pep system. The Bundesliga teams don't try to play like Pep football. It's just that it's a bad cycle. A coach stayed for too long for Germany.
Yeah.
We went on the group stages. I think the main problem with this German team is also, like, I hate to say it, like, because I always like knock on passion merchants, but there is no passion in this team. Remember the first game at the World Cup, they tried to make a statement about LGBTQ rights. I don't give a shit. Win the game and then do it. Win the game and get out of the group stage and then cover your mouth for LGBTQ. It's just the whole thing's a mess. And
but do you think though that but do you think though that the striker issue is a German problem or a global problem? Or do you think in particular Germany just have a lack of strikers, or it's a world in which nobody's actually producing quality? Because I was just thinking back at the World Cup. I'm sure Ike was there. That Morocco, the guy who was the guy who came in for Enesri, that's one of the worst human beings I've seen in my life.
He's a trash striker. He's a trash striker.
AK, he's not a trash striker. He's a trash human being. He's one of the worst human beings I've ever seen in my life. So my thing though is there an issue with like that the world just isn't producing strikers?
I think it's both, HH, because I think the only young guy I could say, yeah, that's a striker, that guy is for the future, is Haaland, and he's already achieving things. But I think it's both. But let's focus on Germany. Germany's problem is that their strikers were always out-and-out strikers. These guys were not R9s. These guys were not Benzema's level. These guys were, put the ball in that box, we're going to get a head on it. We're going to get a foot on it. We're going to score. So Germany, for such a long time, up until maybe Klose and up until like the 2016 Euros when Gomez retired, I think Gomez retired after that tournament, up until then, they always just had these out-and-out strikers. Now we're getting the system, like any other country, is producing strikers. Look at France. They're producing strikers who are not out and out strikers. They're producing strikers who like to drop deep, get more involved in the play. And the German system has never been tailored for that kind of striker. They've never been tailored for that kind of striker. We never had strikers.
and I think which is where you have the Havertz issue.
Yeah.
Because Havertz is like hey, I do many different things, many positions, and he's not a striker.
Yeah,
he's not a striker.
That's why I think it's a bad cycle. That's why I think we have to wait for the next cycle of strikers who who are adapted to today's game, because I feel like Havertz is almost like is stuck in both worlds, because for Germany we haven't played that out and out striker. And remember the Euros, he dropped a 2-piece on Portugal. Like he could play that role, but he can't. He's a mix of both. And Germany, I think it's just a bad cycle. And say in a couple more years there'll probably be some kid like for example, one of the young guys at Dortmund, Mukoko, the kid who's been like pro since 15. He's still only 18 years old. Like, these guys are super young. Musiala is 19, so I really think it's a cycle, because I don't know what happened to Gnabry after the UCL win. I don't know what happened to Sane. It's just a bad cycle. I think.
Can I talk about it?
Okay, let me come to Mike and come to Zima. So, Mike, what do you think the whole Germany thing, man?
Well, look, I mean, I watch a lot of Bundesliga, and I think the problem for German football is really that they don't have any strikers. I mean, I respect Niklas Füllkrug, Werder Bremen striker, doing very well. Still was one of the top goal scorers, even though he's injured for a couple months of the season. But when I look at the under-21s, yeah, they've won it in the last couple of editions, but then their strikers haven't really taken the next step in their development. I think one of the strikers, Selke, I can't remember which club he was playing at. I don't hear much of him nowadays. And he was supposed to be one of their bright strikers coming through. Nothing.
So let me ask this question then. Is it a talent thing?
Yes.
Or is it a choice thing? And let me explain what I mean by a choice thing. So let's say you're a striker and so forth, but you're watching what Messi is doing. You're watching what Benzema is doing, what Lewandowski is doing. So rather than just being like, okay, finisher, no. I can't just be a finisher. I've got to develop my ball control. I've got to develop my movements. I've got to develop my positioning. So that young, talented finisher is working on all of these different things because he's thinking that is what a striker should do in the modern day. I have to be a modern day striker rather than that old school dinosaur caveman striker who all you do just is a fox in the box and just waits there to finish. So are these guys just making a conscious decision to be more like Benzema, more like Lewandowski, where I've got to build up my rounded game?
Yeah, but the difference with those strikers is they get goals. And at the end of the day, the main job of a striker is to get goals. And I don't look at some of these strikers for Germany and say they're going to get a goal in their day. I think it's just all down to talent. Sweden have a better striker. Norway have a better striker. Denmark have a better striker. Portugal, Spain, they don't really have a striker if you're going to count Morata. So a lot of these countries around Europe have better strikers than the German national team. When I was growing up, Mario Gomez, Klose, you can name it. They had excellent strikers. But now, Kai Havertz? Really? Is this what we're going on with the German national team? I know they went through a bad phase like in the early 2000s where Euro 2000 didn't go so well. Obviously, they did well in the World Cup in 2002. Euro 2004 was an abomination as well. But then they kind of had a clear plan on how they wanted to elevate German football. The problem is now, they didn't have a clear plan after they won the World Cup in 2014. They just kept going with the cycle. They thought it would keep on going and working well. But now, they kept Joachim Löw way too long. He should have been gone after the World Cup in 2018. And the German national team have now, in the last 4 games, last 4 games, they lost to Colombia, they lost to Poland, they were going to lose to Ukraine and came back and drew the game 3-3. They lost to Belgium, and their only win is against Ricardo's nation, Peru. And that was only 2-0, by the way. Shout out to Ricardo and every Peruvian. But I think this is now a big problem heading into next summer, because next summer they're hosting the Euros. They better perform. I don't care.
Yes, look.
That's why.
I don't want to go to the Euros.
If Germany don't make it through the groups and they're
they will, because the third place team goes through the group.
Okay. If Germany don't make at least the semifinals.
Quarterfinals max at this rate.
No, it has to be semifinal because
has to be. No. On home soil. No, Mike, on home soil. Sorry, bro.
The thing is,
you Germany on home soil cannot get knocked out in the quarters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The
I'm not going to go
problem
to
is
those
with
Euros next
Germany-
summer if Finland qualify, and if Finland beat Germany, I'm going to be the most shameless person ever on social media. If somehow Bulky drops a 3-piece on these guys, because I look at this German team and there's no fear factor. When you played Germany back in the days, there was a fear factor about them. Same with Brazil. These national teams, nobody respects them anymore.
No. It's just so crazy you say that. Because when I was watching the World Cup vids, I was like, man, remember when you used to have, like, man, Germany, Brazil. You were like, oh gosh, I've got Germany in my group, Brazil. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. Like, no one fears Brazil anymore. No one fears Germany anymore. No one fears them.
Wait, can I?
Actually, what's it called? Zeman say one. So Zeman, talk to me, Zeman.
Listen, man, that is true that there is no strikers in the world. That it is a dying breed in terms of being an effective goal scorer. Nothing else aside from that. And when you look at someone like, you have someone like the Rug that you're putting all your hopes into, or a player that identifies as a donkey, as the guy you're going to international. Like, let's keep it real.
Zeman, the Rug.
Yeah, the Rug. Yeah, that's his name. But
I mean, Casey said he was going to be the next R9, so.
Yeah. No, but in all honesty, like, I understand to a certain extent what he means in terms of this is becoming more systematic, so teams are able to compete. You know, teams that might not have the greatest in terms of talent, they're able to compete with these nations that do, hog all the talent. But at the same time, like for Germany, what for every single other nation, like, let's be honest, no kid is out there like wanting just to be efficient. It's almost as if a majority of people want to be involved in the play more so than anything. And I do think to a certain extent, I think that's what he meant in terms of this is becoming more systematic to the point where teams are playing more as teams and less as, reliant on an individual, which is like a traditional number 9. I think that's what he meant in the interview in terms of that's where the game is going. And to a certain extent, that's what Germany's trying
to... And I see him because I want to even have the larger thing. Is that good for football? The way that it's going, is it good?
Yes. No. But my thing is, it's good for football from a competitive standpoint because everyone's able to compete now. Now, all you have to do is just build a team that actually works instead of being reliant on a superstar. It's bad for nations that typically have superstars because if you're trying to adapt to that, you're going to miss that special player that could get you off the line because you're trying to tailor-made to a system. So those players might end up not necessarily being called for international duty because you're worried about how the team functions more so than being reliant on those individuals. So I could see that happening in the future, but in terms of competitiveness, I think it's good for competitiveness if we're being real. Like now, small nations can compete, but that's mainly down to the big nations producing. Let's be honest, the quality. What Richarlison, Morata. You're looking at what are we looking at in the front lines? Like, let's be honest.
But I think that's the point there. So you've gone from Romario, Ronaldo, Alfredo Luis Fabiano to Fred, Joe, and Richarlison. You go from David Villa, Torres to Morata and Joselu.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's a crazy downgrade, man.
The only team where it suits them in terms of having that talent and also a system is probably France and England, considering they have the most talent, or even Argentina, considering that they'll probably produce strikers and midfielders they have been producing. So it sets for them, but for Germany, they're gonna have to find because I just don't see a future striker for them. You're talking about Moukoko, but has he really lived up to the mental that was expected of him throughout his days of when he was breaking records at Dortmund? I don't necessarily.
No. I think basically my big thing is if Germany don't develop a top striker, they will keep on doing badly at tournaments. That's my big take. If they're going to tournaments without it's a top striker, doesn't matter how many midfielders you have, they will do badly at tournaments.
Is it only strikers for Germany though? I feel like defenders too.
No, but Zeman, this is my point though. Even if they improve the defense against top defenders, top midfielders, without a top striker, they're not going to be doing well. They will not do well at tournaments. So maybe with good defenders, okay, you'll maybe get to extra time. Maybe you throw the lottery with a penalties, but you're not going to go really far without having that top tier striker, because culturally, as Hokage just said, that's what German football culture is about, is playing to that old school, I'm here just to be a finisher and that's it. Because the issue is that...
wait,
One thing I'd say...
Hey, Hokage.
I just want to say the last World Cup was all Hansi Flick's fault. That's just, I don't think it was a problem with the talent. I think it was all.
Can we start having discussions about this guy as a manager? Because it's just looking spooky.
Whoa,
Can I say one thing?
No, you can't do that. One tournament and you want to question his management?
No, bro.
He's been
there's a Yogi Love tax. There's a Yogi Bet tax. Because he's still trying to get rid of all of the bad films. My thing, no, Flick. Judge him next summer. For me, I think that's because I think the issue is that Yogi Bear stayed for too long and you messed up everything. So you messed up the transition completely.
I'll tell you the issue. Like, I'm guessing a lot of you guys don't watch Germany, but every German fan will tell you what the true issue is here. And I hinted at this before the World Cup started to you in like a members hangout. This guy, and I think it ties into what we're talking about, because German football is kind of a mess. We don't have strikers. We don't have a great center backs right now. Rudiger is our best center back. I think Hansi Flick is kind of still struggling with who his best players are, and that has kind of led into the problem of he can't figure out his best starting 11. And this guy, every great World Cup team, they have their core players that start every game, that gel together. Hansi Flick in the last 2 years, 1.5, 2 years, he's been Germany manager. Every game he switches the lineup up, 8 players, 9 players, different system, different tactics. This guy hasn't zoned in on how he wants to play, and that was the issue I had going into the World Cup. This guy wasn't gelling a team together. Remember the Italy Euros team that just won?
Yeah.
That Italy team, that winning streak they were on, it was always, I saw Mancini, bar some changes, always the same core going to that, and they gelled and they grew together and they went into that tournament on fire. That is why Hansi Flick, it's at our home. Bart Simpson fought for the tournament to be in Germany. Don't let Bart Simpson down. Just starting in September, play the same starting XI, because the team is good enough to make a run, not win, but we shouldn't be going out on the group stage. So that's why I say it's all Hansi Flick's fault for the last.
So okay. Try to shoot him a bit of bill, because you are right though. Just to play devil's advocate, is it the case that because the talent pool isn't great, he's like, I can settle on a team because I'm not happy with how a team is operating, because I've not been able to find the right balance because the talent pool isn't good enough. So I have to keep on experimenting because I've not found the right balance of what works, because the quality overall isn't as good as the 2014 era, the early 90s era and everything. So it's like, if I play, no, this team isn't working well, should I just say, okay, just keep it? Even if like I'm not happy with how the team is operating, should I just say, let me keep tweaking until I get something right? Or who cares? Stick with it. Because you're right though.
He's not really tweaking though. He's just changing the players. Change the system at least. Make you do it back to do something.
Yeah. I think Pep actually ruined German football. And the reason why I'm saying is because when Schweinsteiger was talking about the passing and the way they were passing the ball back in his time, and the way when Pep came in and started passing, it was talking about those nice passing. And what I think he meant by this, like the way he grew up with the German football, they were not actually pass like the way Pep does with his philosophy. They were more like just like a prime Liverpool team of just aggression, ruthlessness, attack, and if they lose the ball, they try and win it back as quickly as possible. When I'm looking at that midfield, for example, I'm seeing Kimmich. Kimmich playing as a DM for German football just shows you what I mean by Pep ruined German football, because he shouldn't be playing the midfield for them. He should because when Schweinsteiger was talking about the midfield used to have legs, engine, like
but my thing though is that but it still comes down to the German FA as to how you want to introduce him, because that's why it's that you can say Pep is there, but you can't put the blame on him, because that's why I say like it's about the coaching. And also this is what I don't know for a fact, which is what we need to know for real. Is it that the talent is not there, or the coaching at a young level has changed, because that could be a big point. Because if you're telling a 9, 10, 10-year-old that no, come out of the 18-yard box, I need you to come out, play with the midfield, stop staying into the box, then he's going to change his game. So I don't know whether it's like those young coaches are telling those young players to tweak their game, or this is just a cycle where. But then this is why I ask myself: how many truly great strikers do we have in football today?
Just
Exactly. There's only two.
So and that's why I said like Pep changed the landscape of how football. Because let's be real, Pep changed how we utilize keepers. What we're talking about today here, Pep has now changed how we utilize strikers. How many out and out strikers exist? Where I'm just a striker. Not that many. Pretty much every striker is an all-rounder, where you know how to pass, you know how to control, you know how come in, you know how to play midfielders. How many fox in a box, solely pure finishers, do we have? Hardly any.
Yeah.
And that's why.
So why me like the problem is a cultural thing, and also like the talent pool, like what they been coaching those kids like when they're growing up and stuff like that. I think that's also an issue with them with German football, but. Like when you made that tweet, I was thinking about like the German that I know, right? They were just more aggressive, ruthless. Now you look at their wingers, for example. Now, back in the day, you have that winger just attack. Now you're trying to see the wingers keep the ball, try to be like that. So it's not all Pep's fault, but Pep also has like a little side of the blend to it.
You know, you owe me an apology, HH.
The German.
Wait. Our apology for what?
Back in 2020, I told you that Pep going to Bayern was a bad transfer.
Because
why? No, wait, hold on, quick, got to explain why.
Because, and this is no fault of Pep, it's just that before Pep went to Bayern, that team slapped Tiki Taka 7-0 on aggregates, and then he came and brought Tiki Taka to Bayern, and I'm like, that does not work. Like the players he had back then, the way they played was suited to Heinkes style, the way Germany were playing, not a Spain side in a term. No fault to Pep. When you get Pep, you get Pep. It was their bullshit idea that we're going to get Pep in his style that they should have probably gotten to have improved on Heinkes style, not change the style completely.
Yeah.
They went from winning a treble. They went from winning a treble to not winning a treble. Like
but remember, but you have to remember though, they hired him before the season was over with Heinkes.
Yeah.
So they didn't hire him after Heinkes won. They hired him like midway through that season, or even before that season. So he was already hired way before Heinkes won that treble. But it's just that it was like, because they didn't think Heinkes was going to win the treble. They thought after 2012, like, we need to completely change the way that we operate, and we need to now have the Pep way.
You know what's crazy, HH? It's now been 9 years since the 7-1. Somebody reminded me of that in the chat. Today is the 9-year anniversary of 7-1. And to see where both national teams are at right now, you just see that the talent and just the identity of both countries are just done.
Yeah, like I think Brazil and Germany, it's like their decline has been crazy, because for me, because in my lifetime, this is the worst I've ever seen in Brazil and German football.
Yes,
any team
because even back Euro 2000 and everything, like this is the worst. Like the prospect of Germany not making it through the group stage of any tournaments is mad. Twice is great, and also guys, let's throw Italy there. Like what's going on with football?
All the big boys of the World Cup, the ones that won 4 and 5. Brazil can't pass the quarters. Germany can't pass the group. Italy can't even make it to the World Cup. You know how crazy it is?
Yeah.
And
I don't think...
Go ahead.
When we're talking about the strikers and Germany's missing a striker, I think that era is over. I think we need to... German football needs to transition. As a product of this transition, we now have a player like Musiala. The German national team has never had a guy like Musiala ever in their ranks.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying that? So you're saying transition as in don't rely on strikers anymore.
Find the striker, but it doesn't have to revolve around having that striker, because now as a byproduct, we now have a guy like Musiala. Has German football ever had a guy like Musiala that takes the ball and takes on 8 guys? HH, I know he didn't score that many. He didn't score, and like maybe him not scoring at the World Cup kind of cost Germany. But HH, the guy took on 8 defenders 3 times against Costa Rica.
No, but see, okay, see, now this is where where it gets into interesting debates, and we may have to disagree here. My take is, you see, clubs, you can evolve, change systems, and so forth. My belief is, and people may agree or disagree, a country should never change its football culture or way of play. That's my view, because for me, my view is that how your culture is blends into how you play a football.
No, but it doesn't. You can evolve it as well. You can't just stay the same.
So you can evolve it, but you can't change it.
You can't.
So that's it. When you say evolve, what does that mean?
Right.
Because evolve. How much change are you invoking? Because I think you can tweak.
Pack the boss. When I say change to a back three, I don't mean pack the boss. You can say attack with a back three if that's the players you have available to you.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
whoa, wow, Elijah, goddamn. What the hell? Elijah, you sound like David.
I know Transformers recently came out, but
wait, Mike.
I was just gonna say, because everybody wants to talk about the downfall of like Italy, Brazil, and Germany, but I think it's also that a lot of national teams around the world are getting better as well, as more money is being pumped into football around the world. Like, look at Japan. Look at other countries. Switzerland is getting even better and better as the years go by. So the playing field and the quality, it's evening out between teams. Of course, back in the day, we had more standout players and standout countries. But now every national team is competitive. And the football is getting better because there's more money being pumped around everywhere. And I think you see how Morocco are doing. Now they have their own facilities and their own academy. And that's now benefiting Morocco massively because they just won the under-23s AFCON again.
Why aren't Nigeria improving?
Well, that's your problem, HH, not mine. I'm sorry. Maybe you should go there and pump some money in HH because
I will, Mike.
How can Morocco have these world-class facilities? Of course, Morocco is
Michael, we are pumping money. The only problem is that it's going
into the pockets of
the politicians' pockets.
Gatlock, there are conversations you keep in private and ones you have in public. That's one you keep in private. So, Mike, wait.
I was just going to say, because, Morocco, they opened their own academy, I think like 16 years ago or something like that. And they've created ballers like the Aguero just come from that academy. Like if Nigeria had this sort of academy where they had the great facilities, I know it probably won't happen because of politics and everything involved in corruption.
No, look, Mike, let's not go down this road.
No, but I'm just saying, if you had these sort of facilities and the right coaching, I think Nigeria, or if it's Ivory Coast or Cameroon, they would be in a much better position. But because some federations are so corrupt, they were never going to do it. And that's the problem. But now you see in Europe, a lot of these countries are building the right facilities and having the best coaches possible, and they're getting better. And I just think for Germany, they haven't really evolved since 2014. They've just been stale.
Let me just ask.
Their manager was a guy under Joachim Löw.
Actually, wait, hold on. Let me ask a question to the panel, just a general question. Did Argentina win the Argentina way, or did they win in a way that sort of was contrary to their way?
What is
They won their way.
What is the Argentina way?
But wouldn't you say the Argentina way is the closest in terms of South American that has that's closer to European style of play?
Yeah.
No, really, no. Because Argentina have always been a lot more direct. Focused on individualism with a mixture of passing.
No, that's what I'm saying. All they are is just like they have individualism, but they used to be organized. They've always been like an organized team as well.
But the individualism is of a great extent than Europeans. So Europeans is way more focused on team. Whereas for Argentina, it's a bit of team, but also individuals as well,
and also playing with a lot of grit and a lot of passion. Like that's Argentinian football. Like,
basically very aggressive, very aggressive.
The prime example of this is the quarterfinal against Holland. It had everything. It had great passing. It had physicality. It had BS going on involved as well, because what did Paredes do? He kicked the ball straight into the Dutch bench, and that got the game all right up. That is Argentinian way. I personally like it a lot. Obviously, the stuff when they won the World Cup was a bit mad with the Mbappe and crazy stuff like that, but that's a different discussion. But I just like the way that Argentinians, it doesn't matter. Like, even if they don't have a lot of talent, they're going to give you a tough game. The problem with the Brazilians is that, if we're going to go into this discussion, is they just try and play their certain way, jogo bonito, but now they've gone completely away from that. Are we going to discuss about Carlo Ancelotti?
Oh, yeah.
Hold
on. Let me come to AK's been waiting. AK.
Can I say something?
Yeah, there's myself. I'll come to you after AK.
I think in terms of saying that perhaps somebody ruined German football, it makes no sense for me because international football for me is simple. And as much as we don't like this guy, Didier Deschamps is probably the perfect reincarnation of how to manage an international team. Tell them, you're the players, you know what to do. My job here is only to make you organized and keep you happy. Everything else is up to you guys, the players, because it's ultimately, I can't coach positional play, high pressing as a group in like 2-3 weeks. That's international football. I feel like these coaches like Flick, Enrique for Spain, they're trying to instill their own philosophy, and we have to have these tippy-tappy passing, these 1-2s, this combination
but
play.
Spain were always that though.
Yeah,
So it's
Spain.
like-
To be fair, Spain were always that. It helps, but international football for me was simply get these guys on your side, and it depends on the players after that. It's about the players, and it's about how good these guys can play in a team.
No. AK makes an excellent point. I'm going to AK, but AK's point is excellent. Because people say, oh my gosh, replace Southgate, he's not so good, they're better managers. You don't get tacticians in international football because the key thing, which is what AK point said, there's not enough time to fully get down a complicated tactical setup. You don't have enough time. So with the limited time you have of international football, you have to just worry about what is an easy, palatable game plan that can be fully executed in the limited amount of time that I have these players for. That's the key thing. AK, go for it.
Yeah, and most of the time it's defensive football because it's quite simply the easiest to coach. It's harder to coach like attacking football. Even like Spain in 2010, they were defensive. They just had the ball and passed it around for no reason at times. Like, that's how they played. Just pass the ball to preserve the lead. So I think the thing with Germany is that these guys are trying too hard to score the goals.
Yeah.
Germany can play on the break. Germany would go further in tournaments if they play on the break using their quick strikers.
Counter-attack,
Because their defense isn't that good. As much as they have Malik, I don't rate Schlotterbeck or Sule because these guys aren't good defenders. So what do? Just sit defensively, use Kimmich's long balls and your fast strikers to launch counterattacks. This type of thing in international football where we need to have this type of coach to play this type of way and that type of way, it makes no sense. It's simply just play pragmatic, play counter, keep these guys happy, and just win.
But how come? Hold on. How come when England do it, it's they get criticized?
Wait, hold on. When England do what?
When England play pack the bus for football,
I don't agree with
they get criticized for it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with
Eric, I don't criticize. Eric, thank you. I don't criticize them. The people that criticize them are idiots. Because you know what I always say, Eric? Let England go out and fully attack. Then you see them get destroyed 3-4-0.
Even the other 21 packed the bus and won.
Yes, basically, those morons that say that England should be much more adventurous and attack, you're stupid. Because Southgate knows the strengths and limitations of English football. England football is not meant to attack. England's football is built on the defense. Sorry, AK, continue.
It's just like that. You have to have a group of players and that's another thing I blame Flip for. He keeps changing the team. You have to have a group of players that know how to play with each other on the pitch. If you have and you can have a little bit of tactical analysis as to when to make changes you become a good international coach. I think Germany is just overcomplicating this whole international thing when you can simply just we'll just play 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. We'll sit back and we'll counter with our fast strikers. It's not that hard. That would make them go further than they're going now because these guys have talent. I'm not gonna hear this that Germany has no talent. Any team in the world would love to have a midfielder of Kimmich, Goretzka, Emre Can. Any team in the world would love to have Sane, Gnabry, Wirtz, Musiala. Any team in the world would love to have that. This is a strong squad. It's just that they overcomplicate international football when it's supposed to be simple. That's the thing.
Okay, so let me go to Samati, then I'll take your dubs after Samati then.
First
So
of
Samati
all,
then dubs.
seeing the German national team makes me fucking depressed and fucking sad. I can't believe the German team is so fucking bad. First of all, Flick, fucking choose a team, choose a fucking system, and stick with it. No more fucking trying things and fixing things. Just choose the best players in their position and let them play a few games so they know how to play together. And then start fucking Füllkrug because he's the fucking only striker that we have who can actually score. And first, and I'm gonna say this in the Euros, I will be to every game. If we get kicked out or not,
They better not, bro. It's on home soil.
I will fucking go mental. I don't know. I'm gonna fight somebody. I'm gonna fight
Wait,
somebody.
so Samantha, kids listen to this.
I'm gonna fight
So
somebody.
easy with this, right? Kids are listening to this, or kids are listening
I
to
don't,
this.
I don't care. I'm gonna fight somebody.
Kids are listening. Wait, hold on. Let me.
The biggest problem is we have created chances even in the World Cup. Because since the World Cup, we have gone even worse. We don't create chances, we concede. Fucking Belgium won against us. So I'm against Flick. I want him out. I want him out right now.
Wait, hold on. Let me quick dose. Hold on. So, it's fair. Chelsea wants 45 mil for R9. Inter. Hold up. What do you mean by R9?
Lukaku.
Best number 10 in the world.
Excuse me?
Best number 10 in the world.
Hey, wait. Who told you this guy is R9?
You said it.
Wait, what? I said what? That he's R9?
Yeah.
You call him Luke Skywalker.
You call him Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
No, you called him the Congolese
I
Padawan.
did. Eric, you can't be
play
speaking,
number
okay?
9. You can play 10.
No. Shout out, it's fair again. Everyone trying to copy Pep is dumb. If everyone plays the same with the team, with the best player, the best players will win. Italy versus Germany always competitors because of styles. You see, here's my thing. That's why I say that. Why does keeper have to pass it from the back? Let's go back to the De Gea. Why does De Gea have to pass it from the back? Why? You know he can't. You have to play a system that suits the players. You can't enforce a system until players don't know how to play the system. When Pep came to Bayern, what players do I need to execute my system? City, what players do I need to execute my system? So, and that's why, and I think that is the issue that we have in the World Cup now, where everyone is the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everyone is the same.
Okay.
And look at how funny it was where Argentina won the World Cup by being Argentina. You know, like Argentina won the World Cup by playing in the Argentina way. So, because we'll get to the whole Brazil thing, man. Kelvin's a hero. The most dangerous thing about Eden Hazard is his...
I mean, he's spitting facts and he's not.
He's spinning facts. He's spinning
facts, AJ.
Kelvin's a hero. You didn't have to put a pizza, hamburger. Is that an ice cream?
No, that's
I think it's a donut.
That's
a
big.
donut.
It's a donut.
Donut, okay.
So let me get this straight. The first joke this guy cracked that was actually funny.
I mean, AJ doesn't even have a response to this because he knows it's true.
By the way, Hazard is not a check.
He's improving, man. He's improving.
Wait, hold up. His goals and assists for Madrid shows Madrid fans his fast food techniques and how to get in front of the ball.
You know what, HH? It's a good thing that there's not an MLS team in Las Vegas because that would be pretty bad for him.
Oh yeah.
With all the
Like,
buffets.
bro, have you heard?
MLS.
He's linked to Inter Miami.
Oh Jesus. So he's gonna get on the cocaine diet.
Bro, I've seen Miami Beach and I've seen the food in Miami, bro. Guys, Hazard, that's not a good look. Hazard, come back to London where the food integrates.
You will take him back.
Bro, to save him from cholesterol levels, yes. So basically,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Let's not say because of
You're
London,
the biggest
food ain't
fanboy.
great in London. Miami?
You know you hate Messi and Ronaldo fanboys, but you are also a fanboy.
No. I'm a truth. I'm a truth seeker.
He's a hustler.
Minecraft the Diamond. Germany went from west.
Dub of the year. That's the dub of the year.
That is
Can I say something? As a German, it's fucking true. It's fucking true. I'm gonna say it. East Germany, besides Berlin, not that great. Not that great.
Oh my god.
Minecraft, well, that's crazy.
That is wild.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Minecraft, that's crazy. Wait, hold on. That's crazy.
That's a red. That's
crazy. No, come on, Minecraft. No, come on. So, for guys listening, Minecraft said Germany went from West to East German talents. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. No. That's crazy. Relax.
As a German, I can't comment.
No. Samas, you don't.
No, we don't.
Wait. Whimsical thoughts. Pep's style won laurels and admiration, so can't blame his wannabes.
I can't blame him.
Wait, hold on. Okay, it's okay to be inspired, but the problem is we need an antithesis, or else the game becomes stagnant. More clubs and more Mourinho's is the need of the hour. See, for me, here's the thing: it's natural to human nature. When something is so amazing, new, and successful, you'd want to copy. But I think as time has gone by, what we've now been told and what we know is there are many different ways to go through. Lukaku doesn't become a brick into beating Man City. Pep said it. Pep said that I'm a UCL winner because they're a freaking moron as a striker. That's what he said.
Wait.
Because Simone Inzaghi tactically won that. Tactically, he won. But if you've got morons as a striker, between Lautaro and Lukaku,
that's
those are your two bricks.
That's two brain cells.
Wait, what do you mean by two? There's not a brain cell between those two.
Negative brain cells.
Between those, basically, you just have a hamster on a wheel. In their goals, like so they have hamsters as freaking brains. No, it's a mess, man. Hold on, shout out to Money Miss. Germany have an alleged youngster in Moko. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Daddy Us. Germany and Bomian equals taking advantage of COVID and dinosaur era football.
Daddy Us is a legend, man.
Daddy Us is that guy.
I bet you Daddy Us is really German, though. That's what.
No.
Oh my god,
guys, the Chelsea fan.
Hilarious.
Wait. It's fair. Giroud didn't register a shot.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Is this true?
He did.
And this is the guy that people say I should make a legend of French football. This is the guy that people say is underrated. This man. No. But seriously, I'll say this though, because you guys may be too wrong to remember. Stefan Givash is the worst striker's performance in World Cup history.
Bro,
because at least Giroud contributed to the team. How the team work? France won that World Cup with France won that World Cup with 10 men. Yep. Stefan Givash, that is the best Casper the Ghost performance I've ever seen in my life.
Is it worse than against Croatia?
Yeah, it was right. QC8. 7-1 was so.
Yeah.
Shout out 7-1 day.
Shout out 7-1.
You know what, they should actually make this an international holiday that everybody gets work off when this day happens.
No, we should. We actually should, bro.
This is an incredible day.
No, but seriously, like, you know, I said this, that the only way Brazil will recover is they've got to beat Germany 80-0 in a World Cup knockout.
Yep. In Germany.
In Germany, in Munich, because Brazil have not recovered since 7-1.
Bro, I remember it was 2018 when Germany got knocked out of the groups. I think it was in ESPN FC. Somebody asked a question, which was 7-1 or them getting knocked out of the groups. And I was like, how are people saying is Germany getting knocked out of the groups? You realize it was 7-1 in Brazil. Like, bro,
wait. How's that even a question?
They were 5-0 down by the first half.
7-1 is one. See, that's a game. We witnessed one of the most infamous moments in football, sports history.
No,
that is one of the most shocking moments in sports. See, I don't care what anyone says, guys. I'm saying right now.
Top 5.
Name any sport. That is top 5 most shocking events in sports history.
Do you know what happened that day I was watching?
Hold on, wait.
Never felt so happy.
Do you know what happened that day I was watching?
Basically, for me, the only thing that comes close is what's it called? Tyson and Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
No, AJ, do you know what was happening when I was watching that game? My sister, she doesn't watch football. But when she just heard me saying go, she was like, okay, this is something.
Bro, no, guys. At 4-0, I wasn't watching in the room. At 4-0, I was watching through like a gap in the door. But see, here's the thing. I felt embarrassed. For me, I just felt shame.
Didn't you choose
Sit down.
to win it?
HH, I felt dirty.
That 7-1 was.
I felt dirty.
No, guys, let's be real. You watching it, you actually felt dirty. Like you basically
No,
felt like,
I
oh
didn't.
god damn.
It was also the manner of the goals. They just walked it into the net.
That's it, because it was like it was the ease with which it was happening. The fact that it was happening in Brazil. No, look, it was mad.
You know, I was happy. You know why I was happy?
I have no remorse.
No. Do you know why I was happy? Not because I was even liking Germany. It was because, bro, I was looking at that Brazil team and I was like, no, these guys are really overrated.
Bernard.
They had Joe up front. They had a guy named Joe.
Gatlock, Fred and Joe.
Bernard, no, you forgot.
You show up to a World Cup with Fred. No. Do you know when I knew that something? No. There were two things that I distinctly remember. First thing was you're showing up with Neymar's jersey.
Yeah.
Okay, that is crazy. And also, there's another bit that people remember. Just before kickoff, they showed Schweinsteiger, and he just had a very funny smile on his face. Like, even look, I was about to say, like, I was just like, wait, do you know that meme of Ronaldinho when he's licking his lips for AC Milan? Schweinsteiger. So I was about to say, okay. But you never really read anything into it. You're like, okay, that's interesting, boom. And then
they also
do you know what is so sick? Do you know to this day, it shows how sick German guys. To this day, people are angry that Ozil missed that chance. So to this day, people are like, man, Ozil, you bomb. Why did he score?
Remember the Neymar video? The Neymar's video where he's crying.
The video message.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Wait, guys, remember at the end when they blew up full time? Guys, there were like 3 guys who got onto their knees basically praying and looking up.
David Luiz started praying.
They let David Luiz be captain.
Yeah, he was captain. I forgot about that too.
I remember my folks were asking me, bro, why was he praying?
You just lost 7-1. I'm looking at 3 or 4 guys, eyes closed, going up praying after you've just got. I mean, God.
Of course. You don't know what was going to put them outside. Oh, you have to pray.
Wait, hold on. Let me just, so old school half of football match. Mokaku passed his peak. He's 33. Let's not. Pep changed football. Kids under 10 in Canada play Pep ball. Do they?
Oh my god!
Wow,
I've seen it here in Finland actually.
Wink. So I say I like. Oh, okay, all right, okay. Wait, no. I'm not. Daddy Us, Trump was right. Build that wall again.
Oh my god!
You know what?
God.
This channel is so great.
You know what?
This channel, man, this is such a sick channel.
Daddy Us is it. The guys, that is sick, man. Saros. Yo,
okay. Yo.
No, this is.
I can't read that.
Don't read it.
Sadius, thanks for the door, but there is no chance in hell I'm reading that. There's no chance in hell I'm reading that, bro.
This channel is so wild. The people listening are like, boss, why isn't this guy reading all this picture? We can't see anything, bro.
It's so okay. I want to just dip on this very quickly because Mike reminded me. So I'm gonna just give my take. Carlo, Brazil manager, is a horrible idea.
No, I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree.
It's a horrible idea,
I disagree.
and it's going to fail.
Completely disagree.
Okay, HH, let me ask you a question.
Okay,
Who should be
okay,
Brazil
Mike,
manager? Who should be Brazil manager then?
Name them.
No, Mike. Here's my thing. It goes back to my Southgate points. Who is a good or a pretty good Brazil manager, and you pick them, because my thing is, you pick someone who understands the culture.
Not the right guy. So
Where does Scaloni come from?
This guy is the best option.
No.
Where does Scaloni come from?
Thank you. Because my thing is, what the hell is Scaloni? I bet you anything. Let Scaloni go and coach a club team, and you'll see how average he is. Yeah. Scaloni in club football will be an average manager. Facts. Scolari, as we saw with Chelsea, is an average manager. International management, as AK just said, it's not about tactics, this, that, and everything. It's about understanding the culture of the team and just being able to make key decisions. That is what it's about. Did Brazil lose that because of Tite? No. They lost it because, for some strange reason,
he brought out Vinny early in the game.
Mike, it's bigger than Vinny. If the main man you're relying on is Richarlison, you're screwed. If the main man you're relying on is Freddie, screwed. Because Mike, I told you guys this before the World Cup. You didn't want to listen to me. You guys said, oh, Brazil. I said, if you're going in with Richarlison as your strike, I'm sorry, I'm not putting Brazil as favorites. But none of you wanted to listen to me. I said that the Brazil I know go to World Cup with Romario. They go there with a Ronaldo. They go there with a Pele. Richarlison, and I should put him as first because of Richarlison? No. No, so it's bigger than him. So Ancelotti coming in, what's that going to change? And Ancelotti, international management in club management, bro. As we've just said, you have much less time with your team. You don't have as much time to put in your tactics or your philosophy. And international management is a whole different ballgame. Hence why people say Pep. I agree, Pep. Let's respect Lippi. Let's respect Del Bosque. Because these guys have conquered both very different disciplines of management. Because Beckenbauer, club and international are extremely different managers and coaching because of the time you have. You have way more time in club football. You have way less time in international. And the jeopardy is much higher in international. The Carlo thing, I'm sorry. Brazil, you're just trying to be... It's a very obvious mistake. Oh, loads of Brazilians in Real Madrid. Oh, the Brazilian guys love Carlo. Oh, they've got a great relationship with him. Oh, he does well with Vini. Oh, he'll do well with Brazil. It ain't that easy, bro.
I disagree, HH.
Oh, okay, Zima.
Because in case you didn't know, the Brazilian league is having more foreigner managers than anything else. And I feel like with Carlos Ancelotti, what Carlos brings into this team is the guy you keep mentioning. You need you need tactics in club football, but in international is different. Carlos is not a tactician. Let's just call it what it is. This guy is known for his man management. If anything, that translates into international duty more so than anything. How are you able to handle the group of players you do have and getting the best out of them?
Can I ask you two questions?
Another thing is, Carlos was always known for giving freedom to his players more so than anything compared to other set managers, compared to other top talented managers. Now, you could make the argument that, well, Brazil, they've always done it with a manager that's like that has a certain affinity or a certain attachment to Brazil. I would say that in terms of what they have, in terms of the talent they have, in terms of the profile of a manager, he is a manager that doesn't need a lot of time to communicate his ideas. His ideas are very simple. Even Bayern Munich players were complaining how simple his ideas were, to the point where they were training outside of the training session that he was set up. This guy's very simple in his approach. Not to mention he's really good at when it comes to man management and managing situations. He doesn't here's the thing. He doesn't tell his players where to be at every single time. He's very pragmatic in his approach. I feel like that fits the mold of what it is. And even this is the only time where you and R9 disagree, because R9 clearly said, R9 has also said that the best case scenario for Brazil to go with all the foreign investment that they're having and everything involved is to go for a manager that actually has talent, because they need that. They need.
And I disagree. R9 is. Shout out to my boy. No, but I because my thing though is there's no Zeman. The main aim for Brazil, Copa America, that's a side piece, is to win the World Cup. Zeman, has a foreign manager ever won a World Cup for a country? Has a country ever won a World Cup with that manager not coming from the country's origin?
Has there been a foreign manager to the level of Carlos?
Zeman,
to manage
who answers the question? I asked you a question.
No. That's the question. Though. Is that not?
No. But Zeman, let's first answer my question, then I'll answer your question.
No. I understand where you're coming from, but Brazil needs solutions, and all you're doing is just negating the possible solutions they have. You're not mentioning any players to me. You're not mentioning any managers to me.
Zeman, I'm telling you right now, because Ancelotti is not leading Brazil to a World Cup in 2026. I can put money down.
Then who is? Amongst the who is then? Who's the answer? Tell me who's the answer.
No. Zeman, I'm saying that you succeed and you fail with your own. That is my thing. So my thing now because again, I've got to give credit to AK. AK is completely right. It's down to the players. Zeman, the issue isn't management. It's not coaching. It's Richarlison.
Oh my gosh, it's just come on, man. So we're just blaming Richarlison.
Wait, hold on. Kenny, hold up. Kenny, you're saying come on, for what? No, wait, hold on. Kenny, what? We're repping Richarlison in 2023?
It's not about repping him.
No.
We actually see the guy was trash the whole tournament.
HH. You're saying I
understand where if you're Brazil and you're going to a World Cup, what the hell are you going to do with a Richarlison?
No.
So Zeman, bring Carlo, bring Pep. If Richarlison is your striker, what are you doing?
If you're talking about player selection, I understand, but haven't we seen these Brazilian managers fail countless times since? When was the last time? 2002. Was this the last time they actually had a Brazilian manager that was actually decent? Like aren't they supposed to do something new?
Zeman, are we repping Scolari as a manager? Because Zeman, he lasted 2 seconds at Chelsea.
Bro.
No, 1, 2, sack.
No, my point is, what are they supposed to do? You talk about they don't need a manager. Carlos isn't a man. He's not a manager. He's really good with managing players.
I am saying that in international football, you succeed and you fail with your own, because international football is cultural.
Where are the own? Tell me where are the own, because you're not giving me names. You're just saying
statements. Zeman. No, Zeman. As Gato just said, who the hell is freaking Scaloni? So Zeman, it's not. International football is not having a name. Scaloni was a nobody. Scaloni was literally supposed to be there as a stepping stone for when they actually had a full manager, because they had no freaking money. Yeah. So Scaloni was just supposed to be a stopgap.
Zeman is right. So Ancelotti has never been this tactical. When Ancelotti was in the Bundesliga, 27-year-old Nagelsmann outclassed this guy tactically with Hoffenheim. He never lost against Ancelotti in the 4-3 games they played. I think Zeman's onto something. Ancelotti has always been he's always kind of let his players express how they want to play. Especially that whole Champions League campaign was Benzema and Modric and they're superpowers.
Yeah. This guy is known for his Champions League runs as well. He's not really the best league manager.
He's more of a cup manager. I mean, let's be honest. He lost the league to Xavi, man. Let's keep it real. This guy
Zeman. Let's Carlo go to 2026 and then see what happens. It's the same thing. Zeman, wait, hold on. Let him go to Houston and Las Vegas with Richarlison as a striker, and let's see what happens.
It's not going to be Richarlison by then. I can guarantee you that.
Wait, hold on. Let me come to AK then Mikey. AK, talk to me.
I understand where Z-Man's come from. I think it's correct that in international management, you need a guy who'll make your team happy. The thing is, it's always that, right? That international managers, a manager outside of their home country has not won a World Cup. I think Brazil, and this might be quite an outstanding opinion. I think Brazil would do well with the current interim that they have now, Diniz. He's a highly rated coach in Brazil. He's done well, and most importantly, he plays the closest to the
Who's she?
Brazilian way
Who's
that
she?
no other manager does in the world.
That's
Who's
fact.
she?
We're just free flowing.
He
Who's
plays
the
the
manager you
closest.
just mentioned?
Diniz. He plays
Let me
the
go.
closest way to the category, to the way we think of when we think of Brazil. Creative, free flowing, not like structural in a sense, just chaos. That's what we think of Brazil: chaos and players. He plays that way closest, and his team still down. I think they do well with this guy, and that would be my thing, just to keep this guy Diniz for 2026, because even Neymar said that Diniz is the coach that he would like for the national team. And as much as
He's not even going to be there in 2026. Like, what?
Have you seen Neymar? Last time I saw Neymar, he was having a buffet with Vinny. A buffet meal.
Last time we saw Neymar,
I thought I was getting a divorce or something.
Yeah, I thought I was getting a divorce.
Hold on, Mike, something, Mike.
So, HH, did you rate Didier Deschamps as a club manager?
I rated him sticking with Juve and getting them promoted, but no, I didn't rate him overall as a manager.
So you never rated his achievements with Marseille, because Marseille haven't won any trophies since he's been there. He took Monaco to the Champions League final. So he's actually a very good cup manager. Now, of course, he's French. So then when he took over the French national team, you know, you always talk about, the national team needs to be coached by somebody from their own nation. And look what he's done. He's won a World Cup. He went into a World Cup final, and he made it to a Euro final. So clearly he has molded well from club football into international football. I think Carlo is the perfect guy for Brazil. I think he's not really been someone that has been tactically the greatest, but what he does is in-game management is always on point from Carlo. And I think you really need that in international football. You just need the in-game management perfect and the players to believe in what they want to do for their country. The problem for Brazil is, look, they got as a striker, but I think with Vitor Roque coming in, 22 by the World Cup in 2026, I think it can work out. Maybe Brazil can do it. Now, I don't know if Neymar is going to be there, because I think Neymar's joining Hazard in the buffet line at the moment. But I think this is the perfect manager for Brazil in a sense where he doesn't need to involve his tactics on the team. Tite was good, but he wasn't great. They just had better talent than most teams in South America from 2018 to 2020, and they were able to win the Copa America in 2019 without Neymar, by the way. So I think heading into that World Cup in 2026, you know what's actually a funny stat? When Brazil won it from 1970, where did they win the World Cup in 1994?
Mike, stop it.
Okay,
Mike,
so 2002, 24 years on, where's the World Cup in 2026?
Mike, stop it. Mike, stop it.
He's cooking.
No. I hate when guys do this.
Hey, HH, if they win the World Cup in 2026, don't blame me. Don't blame me then. I'm just telling you by stats.
I hate when guys do this. So like, do you know like when they... Do you know when the star was last at the moon and the moon was there? I hate that stuff so much, bro. No, because Mike, at the end of the day, if in 2026, Richarlison or Joe's son or Fred's... Wait, Mike, what things? No, Mike. Mike. It depends on who the striker is. No, Mike, if Fred's son is the striker in 2026, then that whole thing of doesn't mean anything.
I don't understand why didn't you talk about their fullbacks or Marquinhos, who Marquinhos is always at fault for everything in a big game, whether it's PSG or Brazil. Why don't you talk about them? You always talk about, but you never talk about the fullbacks.
Let's Marquinhos not make. Let Brazil go against Argentina with Richarlison. They still lose. My thing is that 100%. Brazil have always had fullbacks, and fullbacks have always been very.
They don't have right now. I mean, their fullbacks are Alexandro and Danilo.
But my thing though is,
it's looking scary.
You need that top tier frontman striker. That's the key thing. Look, there are many issues,
Wait, so France won the World Cup in 2018 without Giroud
Yeah,
having a
with
shot on
Giroud.
target.
We're talking about Richarlison here, a guy who was closer to 0 goals than 5 goals in the Prem.
And also, Mike.
No.
No, wait, also, no, Mike. The 2 times France won the World Cup, they won the World Cup without a striker.
No, but HH,
Givash, I don't know what Givash is.
No, but Richarlison for Brazil was performing. You're acting as if this guy's been trash. Don't they have the Jesus guys from Jesus? That striker is there.
What makes you think Richarlison is gonna start? Like, why are you so heavily fixated on Richarlison?
Okay, no. Okay, Ziman. Here's the thing. No, hold on. Come 2026, I want to know who Brazil's striker is and who their fullbacks are. And that will tell me whether that's basically come that World Cup, who are their fullbacks? Who is their striker? Let's get this straight right now. Let's get this straight right now. Neymar is not going to be allowed to World Cup in 2026.
So
no. I hope we're all on the same page there.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. He'll be there. It's America.
No, it's just. Can you tell me who was Argentina's fullbacks and striker before the World Cup started? Was it not like Lautaro Martinez and like Tagliafico that plays for
Kenny? No, hold on, Kenny. As I always say that international football, certain countries need certain things because certain countries are the difference. All Argentina needed, obviously beyond the main things, who is our main guy? Who is our Maradona? Who is our Ariel Ortega, our Riquelme? Who is our Messi? We have him. And who is Adi Maria? Those are, because every country needs specific, because every country needs, every country needs specific things based on what helps them to operate. For Argentina, it's that guy. It was supposed to be Ortega, but it really happened for him. Riquelme, now obviously Messi. And of course, the guy, which is of course Di Maria, who was really the guy. You know, Messi's the guy, Di Maria's the guy. So that's the you need the guy and you need the guy.
So what was the guy from Brazil?
Guy. Yo, what you doing with your hands, HH?
But HH, answer this question. What is then Brazil? What do you see Brazil then? I see striker and a fullbacks. And right now, they don't have anything in those positions.
No. Mike Rice is that when we think of Brazil, it's those dynamic fullbacks and the superstar striker. And the issues they don't have. So, here's the thing. Guys, let's be real. We don't have that long to 2026.
Yep.
It's not that long.
Exactly.
So are you saying that from between now and 2026, Brazil will have that top tier striker and the top fullbacks? Are we saying come 2026, Vitor Roque or Endrick will be amongst one of the best players in the world, like Ronaldo was at 21 years of age in 1998?
Are we going into a situation next summer in the Copa America when it's hosting the USA where if the USA progress further than Brazil, what do we say then?
Wait, hold on. So wait, how many CONCACAF teams are in the Copa America next year?
6. It's 16 teams next year in the Copa America, yeah.
Don't let USA win
it. Bro, if Berhalter gets further than Brazil at the Copa America.
Why did they hire?
Why did they hire that?
I'm literally tired of Greg now. This guy,
Timmy Turner in goal.
What's going on with Greg? How did he get the job again? Like,
bro, respect the house, man. Respect the house.
He's gonna bring Haji Wright to the Copa America and score more goals.
He's going to drop Reina.
Wait, hold on. Let's get to Dubinsky. So Minecraft the Diamond. Trump has German ancestry. Okay. All right. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. Play simple. Shout out to Play. Thank you for the dub. F. Schweinsteiger recognized him in Grand Park in Chicago biking, yelled his name, ran to him for a photo. He looked at me and dashed.
Damn. So he pulled a Pep.
Like I was literally about to say. Like I was literally, you literally stole my head. So basically pulled a Pep. You see, play simple. Here's the thing. See, thank you. If he looked at you and ran, play simple. How were you dressed? How did you look? So, because the difference with Pep is this: Pep waited and was like, "Okay, I'm about to get robbed by this black man." So So that was Pep's thing. Pep was like, okay, look, it is what it is. Mr. African man, take my bike. I'm about to get robbed. I was like, oh, you want a photo? Okay. Photo, then you can take my bike. So Pep was different. If he looked at you and ran, first of all, how loud did you yell? And maybe the way that he yelled was like, okay, this might be a madman. So there are so many questions here.
Well, what if he threw the wallet at him and then he just started running? Like,
No, running at people is crazy. Like, I don't know.
You see, that's because you see, whenever I see a famous person and so forth, I'm just like, hey, yo, blah blah. Basically, I remember one time, so Underground, what's that Loki actor's name?
Tom
Hiddleston, Tom Hiddleston, the guy who plays Loki. So I was like, and I wasn't even answering first. I was just like, oh, I recognize him. As I approached him, was like, no, sorry, I'm off duty. Off duty? What do you mean by freaking off duty? I was like, I didn't listen, sorry, I'm off duty.
Maybe he saw some black guy with shades walking towards.
Wait, my God, are you stupid? Do you think I wear shades? I wasn't wearing freaking shades. No, but see, but for me, I still say the guys. So I said that Pep was right to react like that.
No,
bro, he was saying, "Hey, boy."
But if you see a guy like that in the dark chasing,
a guy like what?
I'm sorry,
a guy like what?
Kenny,
No. Kenny, a guy like what? So hold on. So Kenny, if it was DiCaprio or Brad Pitt running towards him, he'd be like, "Hey, oh, what's up?"
No, he's a famous person. No, but when you see,
Pep would do that if it was Idris or Denzel. He'd do the same thing.
No, he's probably having flashbacks of Eto, man.
Wait, hold on. Money Mace. All right, I'm not even gonna read that out, man. I'm not even gonna read that out, man. Shout out to Money Mace. I'm not even gonna read that out, man. Hell no.
Is this not
If man, thank you for the dub. If Carlo wins Copa America and the World Cup as its first foreign manager and brought Brazil back after the World Cup 14 downfall, would he be the GOAT?
Yeah.
Interesting conversation.
That is some resume.
He would be up there, but I don't think he could be the GOAT, man.
Z-Man, let's talk. Z-Man, let's talk. Because do you know what I've always said? Pep is a club GOAT.
Yes.
Even Fergie, I think
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Beckenbauer, Lippi, and Del Bosque are in a special category.
Yep.
Because international management and club management are different. So Pep, 100%, you call him one of the greatest club managers of all time, maybe even the best. You can't call Pep the GOAT because I'm sorry. What Del Bosque, Lippi, and Beckenbauer has done is very rare. So if Ancelotti goes in and does this, I'm sorry, he's now in an echelon greater than my guy Mourinho, than Pep, than Fergie, than all these other guys.
No, I'm sorry. You want to know why? Because I know you don't rate De Bosque ahead of Mourinho right now. So what is this all talk about?
No. Okay, Z-Man, if I'm going to be bashed, Mourinho literally is like a footballing god. If you want me to now be fully objective, Del Bosque, for being objective, is higher than Mourinho. Because he's won the UCL. I believe he's won a league title. He's won, 1 Euro and a World Cup. That's a resume.
That's a good resume.
That's a resume.
I'm sorry. Wait,
hold on. Zimmerman.
No, I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? If a guy has won the top level of club and international, what do you mean by I'm sorry?
Let Zimmerman speak. Where's Zimmerman speak? If Kala has done all that, why don't you still put him ahead of whoever? For what reason?
Who?
No.
If Carlo does what this
if Carlo does all this, why don't you rate it?
No. For me, then Carlos would go higher in terms of his ranking, but I rate club football way higher than I rate international.
And he has done it in club football.
So for me, it's
won all
has he done 5 league
leagues.
titles to his name? Are we really gonna count that? Like, yes, he's won Champions League, four Champions League, but that 5 league titles, damning, bro. How can you?
Yes.
You
No, but Z-Man. Here, okay, look, this is a simple question. Let's say Carlo does this. Which resume is better, Pep's resume or Carlo's resume?
Carlo. Ooh, Carlo's resume.
Carlo,
man.
Carlo.
Of course it's Carlo's resume. Why would you? Of course it's Carlo's resume.
He's still thinking. He hasn't replied. He's still thinking.
No, my thing is.
Gatlock, I'm not even Gatlock. I've discarded him. Keep on thinking. I've discarded him.
In terms of achievements, yes, you could say a World Cup. He's won the Copa America. He's won those while winning 4 Champions League, 5 league titles without going back to back. But I would still say Pep is better ranked because of his influence. So that's just the thing, though. No.
We're moving on. No. Marvin Bokeh. Did Nigeria qualify for the World Cup their way? What do you mean? Look, Nigeria we just didn't qualify.
You guys know why.
And Gatlock, I blame you. So Gatlock, tell me why.
What is the way?
What is the Nigeria way?
I don't know. Wait. Money mates, Nigerian style of play through.
Skip the shit.
Okay. Look. If man, which first country will win the Copa America, Euro, and World Cup with a foreign manager? I bet England will be that country. England's women's team won the Euro 22 with the Dutch manager. See, I'll be real with you. I don't.
No, I think they tried it. I don't think they're going to try it again.
See, England, they look, and also, guys, because people say, when last did a team have like a top quality manager as a foreign manager? Ericsson, 05-06 was one of the best managers in the world.
Facts.
06, or next one of the best managers in the world. Capello is seen as one of the top managers, and at that time was seen as one of the top managers in the world. And they completely failed. And Southgate has done better than both of them.
But it's just Capello failed because he wanted to turn England into Italy. That's the problem.
Remember, he tried to play a back three. England were like, what the hell is this?
That's his style. But the thing is, England has colonized so many countries. You think they could pick
Wait, AK is right. You need a set group of players. Mancini was experimenting before the Euros, but always had Bonucci and Kelly in the center of that team. If you've got, 6, 7, 8 games, you can't be chopping and changing.
No, you can't. Yeah.
So, because here's the thing. If you've got like a 38-game season, or rather 40, 50 games, you can change, tweak, and everything, which is why international management is different.
Yeah.
Because again, Z-Man, are you listening? You can't get an Ulrich and start picking on any players you want.
Oh my God,
Z-Man, listen, Z-Man. When you have a country,
if you're gonna go this route,
no, Z-Man. When you have a country, that's all you have.
No, HH. I understand that, but if you're gonna go this route, I even rated Sir Alex Ferguson ahead of him, even if he makes those achievements. Because for me, again, I feel like you guys aren't understanding. For me, when it comes to top-tier managers, yes, he'll be ranked higher, but I'm not going to all of a sudden dismiss all the seasons he's had and then all of the criticism and all of a sudden rank him first like you guys seem to be doing.
Z-Man. That's Z-Man. A resume is a resume. If Z-Man. Hold on, Z-Man. If a guy has won a league title in 5 different countries, 3-4 UCLs, has won a Copa America, has won a World Cup, I don't know.
If you're gonna go that route, then why don't you rate Messi as your GOAT? If he has a resume, right? Your main reasons. That's what I mean. You make one point, and then
look. All right. What's the next topic, guys? Final topic.
That's exactly my point, bro.
Final topic, guys. So,
this guy, man, try to talk
about guys, let me ask a question, and anyone can jump in. Streets, feel free to jump in. What is the best version of Cesc Fabregas?
That's tough.
Wow.
So, Barca Fabregas, Chelsea Fabregas, Arsenal Fabregas. What is the best version of Cesc Fabregas?
I would say Arsenal.
Yeah, I would say Arsenal.
Wow. So people agree with me. Yeah.
It's Arsenal.
Yeah, I would say Arsenal.
It has to be Arsenal.
And that's weird. You would think a player gets better as he grows older. And also, he was crazy young at Arsenal. So you think that, oh, this is just the beginning. By the time he now hits his peak, he'll get better. So...
Yeah, but if you think about it, okay, when he was at Arsenal, he was playing with some good players. But when you go to Barcelona and you're playing with Xavi and co, I mean, how much will you really shine there like that?
He really never played at his position as well, but he played like false nine most
I
of the
think
time.
Chelsea Fabregas is better than Barca Fabregas because he got the shine.
Yeah. He played more in the midfield. That's why I think.
Yeah, but then again, Arsenal Fabregas, like, he has more of his different skill sets on Arsenal because he stayed there for long. You could say that, but I feel like he's more of like a central midfield where we saw the best of him at Arsenal, and then the Chelsea is probably second, and then Barca's like third, in my opinion. But the Spain Fabregas was kind of interesting because this guy plays a false nine as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Fabregas though is that, like, do you think that people will fail to appreciate him based on the era he was in and what he was surrounded around? Because again, at Arsenal, they never really won anything major. He goes to Barca.
Yes, they did.
All of our focus is on Xavi, on Iniesta, on Messi. When we go to Spain, our focus is on Xavi, Iniesta, Casillas, all those other guys. So, because my thing though is, will people remember Fabregas as a really top player because of the generation that he's in?
No, you see, that's the thing. Like, I was talking to this about people in Discord. Like, it's hard to rank him in his generation. I think arguably his biggest accomplishment is what he did for Spain. I thought to reinvent himself when you know that you couldn't necessarily, that midfield was airtight and you had to reinvent yourself. And for him to do that took a lot out of him. That's why I rate him in Spain higher than any other version of him. But when it comes to what he is and where he's ranked, that's the difficult part. Because let's be honest, in the 2010s to the early 2000s, there were a lot of midfielders. There were incredible, talented midfielders. You have Pirlo, who's showing off in Italy, and then in Spain you had the likes of Xavi and Iniesta, and even players like Xabi Alonso doesn't get enough credit.
But
even players like in that generation, I think that's something that.
So listen, my thing though is that where would he rank? Would you call him a generational talent? Would you call him like a tier 2, just under the top tier thing? Like, where are we really putting this guy?
Yeah,
I think his potential was tier 1 or 2 forgot, but it's tier 2.
I can't say generation because that generation was stacked with midfielders.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible midfielders. So in this generation, this generation.
Okay.
Would be considered generational.
Okay. Who are we ranking higher, David Silva or Fabregas?
Fabregas.
I would say Fabregas.
Fabregas. I'd say that it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
No, but David Silva, as much as I respect him, I feel like Fabregas contributed more internationally, even though David Silva did his thing in the 2012 Euros. But
no, because it's funny you said that though, because I agree with you, but people say that David Silva is one of the Premier League's best ever players, or at least one of his best ever midfielders.
Because of how long he stayed.
Would you?
And do they say that same thing about Fabregas? Because I think. So doesn't Fabregas still hold the assist record, or is he second in the assist record for an EPL season?
No, it's Henry. Henry still holds that. 20.
Yeah, I think it's Henry and De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne.
Yeah, so Fabregas is second, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ozil would have broken that if it wasn't for Giroud.
Okay. So Hokage. So I mean, Fabregas. Where do you rate him? How do we rank him? Do you think he'll go down as being underappreciated, properly appreciated? What are we saying about Fabregas, man? After retiring?
I don't know. I feel like the players that, they leave top level football and then go play for a lower team for a couple of years before they retire, they kind of just get forgotten about and they never get the shine as like if they retire on top. Like, I don't know. And Zeman is right. The amount of midfielders in that generation, dude. Okay, just Spain alone. So you have Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. On the bench, they had guys like Javi Martinez, Fabregas, and all those, Javi Alonso. Look at that. That's 6 guys right there just from Spain.
Yeah. Mata, David Silva.
Mata, David Silva. You go to Germany, there's Kadira, Schweinsteiger, all those dudes. Italy and all the rest of them. So I think he does fly under the radar because of how great that generation was for midfielders. But yeah, I mean, I always rated him. I don't know. I just always rated him. I think. What did he win at Barca again? He didn't win. He's never won a Champions League though, right?
Yeah, he did win. He didn't win the champions. No. I think basically the only thing he didn't win was the Champions League. He probably won everything else apart from the UCL.
Yeah.
Bro, when you stay in Arsenal, what are you expecting from him?
You see, do you think he should have left Arsenal earlier, but not to Barcelona somewhere else? Because I feel like if he would have stayed at Barcelona just a little bit, I feel like it would have worked out for him. But he just decided.
Why did he leave Barca early though?
No, I think it was just competitiveness in game time. I think those were two main contributors. He wanted consistent game time, and Chelsea were offering him. Uncle Mo was calling him up, so it's just like.
And that's the thing though, because that's funny. So if he just sticks it out at Barca, I think eventually he would have, because now it's so funny. So basically, if he had stuck it out, does he get in ahead of Rakitic?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they might not even buy Rakitic.
There we go. If he had stayed, the Barca even buy Rakitic to begin with. Okay, let's even go. So let's say he stays. They don't buy Rakitic. Is Fabregas as effective in that 14-15 season as Rakitic was?
True.
Because Rakitic was, because people say MSN. Rakitic was arguably the 4th best player in that team.
Yeah, no, Rakitic
after MSN.
But I still feel Fabregas would have done a job similar to that.
Moving to Chelsea, like HS, remember that assist to Schürrle? Remember that assist? Do you know
his first game,
bro. What, bro?
First game.
I've rarely seen a better 1-2 punch than Fabregas and Costa, because the kind of assist, the passes this guy was giving was insane.
Just
like the way this guy was executing was freaking insane.
You know how you were arguing on Twitter, like, and how you always say, like, oh, those like things where you just set up the shot aren't assists, like through balls and pinpoint passes.
Yeah.
Like the one you showed of Italy in the semifinal against Germany.
Yeah.
Fabregas was constantly making those assists in the Premier League. Those 2 seasons that he was there for the league title, right? He was there for 16-17 league title also, right?
Yeah. No. He won 2 league titles at Chelsea. He won 2 league titles.
That one season where he went crazy with always making.
The second season, it was more on the bench, like coming off the bench. The first season is where it was like the main guy.
14-15.
No. You see, no. So basically, my thing though is, I'm ranking in terms of in his generation, Fabregas is one of the best passes of the ball I've seen in terms of just executing difficult passes. And executing difficult passes, one of the best that I've seen.
Yeah, they scored that first Spain goal in 2012. That guy ran through, was it Chiellini or somebody? I just passed it to David Villa. That was his goal, man. That was his goal.
Yeah. No, but I think basically, I would argue that probably one of the best eras for strikers was like late 90s, early 2000s. This from like 08 to 2014-15 is the greatest ever for midfielders ever. So some of the greatest midfielders has been from 08 to like, so basically from no.
What is this era?
I think it overlaps. It overlaps.
It's overlaps because I see I like to do it in 10-year increments, really. Yeah. So, but my thing is that Pirlo overlaps.
Yeah,
Pirlo is like is in between 2 eras.
Yeah, like Modric as well. Yeah.
Modric, because I think if you play for a long time, because Modric now overlaps. Although, like I think Modric's era really is 2010, 2020. Like if we could just put it in 10 years, 2010, 2020. See, Iniesta and Xavi, it's because remember they really began popping off 08, 07, 08. So really on the tail end. So really, I think Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, I'd say their era was 2010, 2020. Yes, they were the one. Like and everything. So
that summer you guys had 2014. That summer was sick, man. I don't lie. I actually liked Chelsea back then.
Yeah,
Courtois,
that was a
Diego
disgusting.
Costa,
Yeah, we bought
Fabregas.
Costa,
That team,
Fabregas.
Costa,
We done that
that team
business
was
early as well. It
Yeah,
was
but
early.
that team was sick, man. That team was sick.
Okay, so Elijah, how are you ranking Fabregas then?
Oh, Fabregas for sure. I mean, me being the prem merchant that I am, I put him up there as one of my favorites. It's kind of weird for me which I wouldn't say. It was weird seeing him play at Chelsea because, like, growing up, I always seen him as an Arsenal guy, and like I consider him one of Arsenal's. I'm gonna say one of Arsenal's great players, but like seeing him at Chelsea and then like actually seeing him win stuff at Chelsea was interesting because I feel like in a way Arsene Wenger in a way held him back, in my opinion.
Held him back.
Well, towards the end, especially towards the end, because Fabregas's, if I remember, Fabregas's accolades at Arsenal is one FA Cup and a Charity Shield, but at Chelsea, I think it's 2 league titles and a couple domestic trophies. So I feel like he flourished more at Chelsea than he did at Arsenal. That's why I feel like in a way Wenger held him back.
No, I mean, but then I asked the question: what is the best version of Fabregas? And everyone said Arsenal.
I don't know. I think.
But I don't think it's Wenger that held him, but I just think that Arsenal team was like trash.
It was the team. Because everyone agrees that Fabregas at Arsenal was an outstanding talent for his age. But the issue was the team just as a whole wasn't really good or developed enough to say anything. And also he was very young. So
I mean, let's be really honest. Well, yeah, no, that makes valid sense now. But that the way you guys just put that together. But that's just my thinking of it. I think he flourished more at Chelsea because there was more guys he could work with. Like he worked around more talent and flourished with that talent around him. At Barca, he was literally just one of the guys. He wasn't one of the core guys. See, when especially when talking about core players and stuff like that, it felt like he was more a rotation type of guy. He was there to fill in holes if somebody else was not there. He wasn't a main core guy. If that makes sense.
Okay, so BMF, what do you think about Fabregas?
I think I agree with what everyone said, that Arsenal was when it was his best form as a better player too, because he was young at that time and so he was still learning and still performing at Arsenal. But I think the team blamed them because when it was in Arsenal, they didn't really do much. So I couldn't really blame him for not winning trophies when he was in Arsenal. But when he went back to and Chelsea, I think the Champions League is the only thing he never won. So I think he had a great career, in my opinion. I think he's a coach now, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do as a coach.
Right. Ricardo, Fabregas, man, is he going to go down as being underappreciated, underrated, based on the era that he was in?
45 minutes. You decided to pop up.
To be honest, he's going to be one of those players that typically the average football fan won't remember. But if you watch this era of football, you're gonna remember his name to be one of the finer passers of the ball. I wouldn't really say he's underrated because there's a lot of quality midfielders. Because when you say underrated, it's a player that's not been rated at the appropriate level. But when the standard was Xavi, Iniesta, Luka Modric, Busquets, Toni Kroos. Some people hold Ozil very high in regard, even though probably he didn't fulfill what most people thought of him. I don't think Fabregas is underrated. I think he's rated perfectly where he's at. He was good. He definitely was good. He's not. He's a player that I guess he's just rated correctly.
No, because since we're here, because it's actually a funny question. So. We're just saying, if Fabregas had stayed at Barcelona, there would have been a knock-on effect. He stays, I would think Barca by Rakitic. So if Fabregas stays at Barca, develops, he now has much more playing time. He has a greater role in the team because Xavi is getting older, Iniesta is winding down. Is he as effective as Rakitic was in that 14-15 season?
There is. I mean, it's all hypothetical at the end of the day. I definitely wouldn't change the history. I think historically, when you look back at both those players' career, Rakitic, well, actually, you can't really say that because Fabregas had a very successful international career. But this is my thing. Like, Fabregas definitely played a role, but he wasn't the star player of the role. So that's my thing about like when you win trophies. Like to me personally, if I want to win trophies, I want to have my fingerprints on that trophy. I don't want to just be a pass.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so we're not repping Abaloa?
Nah, man, we're not repping no Arbeloa.
Bro, he has the complete sets, man. He has a complete set. The greatest bandwagon artist of all time, man.
Bro, him who Nacho Cheese,
Lucas Vasquez. bro, I put up, after putting my asking question with it, Real Madrid guy said, bro, don't disrespect Lucas Vasquez. He's a Real Madrid legend.
Disrespect him, bro. What is this, bro?
No, bro.
But Ricardo, here's the thing, though. I know the guy look at the goal scorer who gave that pass to Iniesta in that final.
I mean, sure.
But here's, I know he gave the pass, but I don't think it will be remembered because when you look at the totality of the World Cup, David Villa, Xavi, Iniesta, Casillas' 2 saves, even though he was doping to save against Robin, all those things are going to be now being put in the highlights than the key pass.
But what I'm saying is that like he's no bum. Like what you were saying earlier is correct. Like this last 10 years was like an era of great midfielders. It's just
the greatest era for midfielder, probably.
Yeah, so when you rank them, when you stack them up against an era of possibly the greatest midfielders of all time, I don't think that makes him underrated. There's generally like 5 to 10 midfielders that were better than him from like attacking to defensive midfield.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's underrates him. Like we all can say he's quality, but there was just guys better than who he was. I still think nonetheless he had a good career. Like I would still want his career over I don't know, like I guess your Arbeloa's because Arbeloa was like he's running coattails. Let's be honest.
Okay, whose career would you rather have or legacy would you have, Rakitic or Fabregas?
Fabregas has the World Cup, and even though like he wasn't a star player,
see that's the thing.
He still played. Like he still had his role. Like we can't. He wasn't no Arbeloa. Like he wasn't. Like he had his role. Like he was good. But he wasn't like a top 3 or top 5 player of that team. But he definitely had his role in every success they had. Mine is okay, the Champions League. But honestly, what is the Champions League worth when you got the World Cup? So
yes, I think when you have the World Cup and you have the assist for the World Cup winning goal, UCL is cool. The UCL is cool. But I think that is the issue. Though I think it's like. Look at where he was at. Literally, you just take Spain by itself. Spain housed some of the best midfielders in the world at the time. So that was literally the hardest midfield to get into was the Spain midfield. Yeah. When you have Matza on the bench, you've got Jabi, you have Matza, you have Jabi Alonso, you have freaking David Silva who are struggling to get into the team.
Bro, one of those just like at the bottom end of that, like. Who the bottom end of those will be like what your David Silva's, your Fabregas. Like if you were to change the nationality of someone like David Silva or Fabregas to another nation, bro, you're talking about probably the greatest midfielder from that nation. Like that's how highly skilled those Spanish midfielders were.
Yeah, Kenny, what were you saying, bro? Fabregas.
Yeah, obviously love this time at Chelsea, but yeah, I think it's for me as a player. I think maybe we remember the Arsenal one because he was like the guy on the team, and he was like the best player and all that stuff. Maybe that's why we think that is the best version of himself. But I think probably his peak is probably Barcelona, but he never got to like he was never the guy on that team, so I think he never got the chance to like really fulfill like the full potential of his career. Obviously,
so basically, do you think now maybe you'll say like because of Chelsea, it was the right move to move to Chelsea, but if you look in hindsight, should he have stuck it out at Barca or was moving to Chelsea a better move? Because
either
because
way,
it's tough because you moved to Chelsea, you were much more prominent and it showed how key you were into league titles. But you stay at Barca with a much better supporting cast. You now have a very good chance of like winning more titles, winning a UCL, and being a far more prominent member after Xavi and Iniesta decline. Because again, it's the reason why Pedro left. Because Pedro was a very key guy for Barcelona. But Pedro was like, look, I can't be the third wheel or a side chick here. I'm now going to go to a club where I can now say what's up. But he moves to Chelsea. And let's be real, we remember the Barcelona Pedro as opposed to the Chelsea Pedro.
Yeah, but even when he came to Chelsea, he wasn't a side chick, but he was never even really that guy. He was a third wheel over here as well.
Mm.
Like, Hazard was better than him, and Diego Costa was like better than him. So it was a third wheel anyways. But yeah, I think like Fabregas actually he became especially that 14-15 season under Mourinho, he was the main guy in midfield. I think the second title, like I said, it wasn't really because it was Matic and Kante. So it was more of the like he didn't really he played, but it was not really like it was off the bench most of the time. But yeah, I think honestly, I would say I think if he really if he becomes what Rakitic does, if you think they could have done what Rakitic did, yeah, I think he might regret it. But we don't know. We don't know what would have happened. So honestly, I think, yeah, we don't know. But yeah, he's had a good career, man. I love this time at Chelsea. That Burnley, I remember that first game when I saw that Burnley assist, I knew we were going to win the league.
Wait, so you knew it from that Burnley assist that we were going to win the league?
Yeah. That first game when I saw the way we played that first game, especially the first few games, I remember that Everton game. That was crazy. I knew that season we were going to win the league. Yeah, that team. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So Sebastian, what are you saying about Cesc, the Cesc kid?
Great talent, underrated. I think he was good at Barca, but I thought when he was younger at Arsenal, especially with peak Wenger, he was just his passing next to Özil. I think there's not a greater younger passer. I think he was just a very, very good Spanish midfielder, which had Spain a lot. And so he was just overshadowed by Xavi and Iniesta. That was, I think, his biggest problem. Still great. And he won a lot. He won with Chelsea. He won with Spain. He won everywhere he go. I think Arsenal was on the decline and he saw that. He said, I cannot stay at Arsenal. I need to go and win something. So he went to Barca.
No, I think that's literally when you go to Spain and Barca, you're playing amongst two guys who are considered one of the best midfielders of all time. That's the issue. Like Xavi and Iniesta are not generational midfielders; they are all-time midfielders. Like you see, De Bruyne is a generational midfielder. Actually, hold on.
Is he?
Hold. Is he? Hold on.
No, easy.
Hold on.
Easy.
He's not.
Is De Bruyne a generational midfielder?
Yes,
Is he? Can I ask a question?
It
De Bruyne a midfielder?
Hold on. Can you lay a brick into UCL fans and be called a generational midfielder?
Oh, come on.
Let's be honest.
Ricardo, don't you dare rip
I have a
for
question.
Drake.
Is De Bruyne a midfielder? Is he really a midfielder?
That's another.
I don't even know what the hell that this guy is. Sorry, Ricardo was saying. Ricardo.
Hater, man.
We can't do this. We can't do this. We can't have the Prem merchants parade around that they're the best league in the world, blah blah blah, and then probably the best midfielder in the Prem in the past 5 years. All of a sudden, is not getting all-time shouts. Like, how are you the best midfielder in the best league and putting all-time performances, but you're not an all-time?
Ricardo, I just asked the question.
I'm begging the logic.
I gotta keep it real. People aren't gonna be happy about this, but the guy, his best season was being a second a second striker. And if
Exactly.
you want to look at midfields, I mean,
It's not technically.
personally,
KDB
for me, man, I would take a technical midfield. That's why I rate Fabregas higher than whatever KDB is, man.
Oh my god.
Because
I would disagree. I would disagree.
KDB is more.
Yeah, no, yeah. For me, like, yeah, like.
He's
Yeah,
not
so
a
BMF, what are you saying?
midfielder
BMF, what are you saying? BMF.
So like with KDB, right? The problem is that people don't come generation midfield because it doesn't have the complete package of like the midfields we've seen over the years. Where
He's more of an attacking second.
so it's more like in the what? So basically, he's more of a second striker or false nine or striker you can call.
So it's a generational second striker.
His early days at Man City, he was playing in midfield.
I
Let's
guess.
not do that.
Stop it, bro.
Because for midfielder, right, like the likes of we were Xavi and Iniesta and like Zidane, KDB doesn't come close to those guys. Like I guess his output is amazing, but because I think De Bruyne is definitely easily one of the best midfielders that EPL has ever seen. Yeah,
but if you now go beyond the EPL and just say, can we call him he's you of a generation, you're one of the top tiers of the generation. Yes, I have a difficult time saying that.
Yes, he is.
But what's his generation?
I don't know.
Who's in his generation? So tell me, who's in his generation?
So I'm still argue Modric is still in there.
Yeah, who else?
You may not like it. You may not like it.
Don't tell me that.
Marcus.
Oh my gosh, man! You see what I'm saying? Drop the boot, man. I'm sorry, man. How are you saying
Mark is there, man. Mark.
It's just tough, man.
Mark in terms of talent, but in terms of achievements and everything, KDB is rated higher amongst this generation.
Yeah.
So on his day, Pogba as well.
He's generational, but he's a generational air quotes. He's a generational guy, air quotes. J2S, HH, was David De Gea the last line of defense for your hairline?
Oh my god.
That's
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Abrisfair, Rukash, shut up. Abrisfair, wasn't the first false nine done by Spalletti at Roma using Totti because they had injuries? False nine is the best, requires a great player. If not, it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've always said. The only team that can use a false nine are that's peak Spain team and now Barcelona team, specifically with Messi. If you're not to those teams, you can't use a false nine. So Germany trying to use a false nine or another team like a false nine, you look stupid.
I dare them to do it again.
No, but that's it. You look, because a false nine, it is to do a false nine, you need top level, top tier midfielders. Mm-hmm. And Spain had some of the best passes of the ball that a team has ever had. So, as I told you, what Spain did in 2012 was that for me was a disgrace. How you win a Euros without a striker is stupid. No, because even when, as I always say, wait, so this punks think you can win a tournament without a striker? Now, here's the thing though. Is it that Spain were so advanced, or everyone else was garbage?
Yeah, because
that team was crazy.
Kenny, how do you allow a team to win a tournament without a striker?
No, but that's
sorry. I don't care how good you are. How do you allow a team to win a team without a striker? I'm sorry. I can't accept that.
That team was crazy. For that 2012 team for me was the best of the three. The 28 and the 2010 and the 2017.
I agree.
The 2010 Germany team was better than the 2010 Spain.
You mean the team that got cooked by Neymar?
No. But I agree though. That 2012 team was the best out of Spain's three repeats.
The first time made them control the games more and just dominate possession more and never.
What Spain did to Italy in that final was.
So you're telling me Neymar with Fred up front? That's the team we're talking.
Wait, let's Neymar go. J2S, I'm gonna ban you. H has a false head. All right. So you know what? On that note, man. On that note, does anyone have any final notes before we get out of here, man?
I do. Yeah. Did you guys cook Pep?
I do. I have a question.
Slightly. Okay. Elijah, what's the question?
Well, I remember. I wish I wanted to really ask this question, and I did throw it in the streets. when we were talking about Germany and how like just the cycle and how bad it is, in a way, does this not remind you guys of France from 07 to 2012? Because in a way, it was systemic.
Didn't France get through? How many did France fail to make it through the groups in successful group stages?
Yes, they failed to make the groups. They failed the groups in Euro 08 because they lost 4-1 to the Netherlands, and then they failed to get past the groups in 2010. They lost to Mexico and Uruguay.
No, but say that's 2 years, because 4 years you say is enough time for like a full cycle.
Five.
Because obviously 2012, like I think they went into what is it in the quarters or the second round? I mean, look, I would say it is similar-ish, but I think you always you can say it was similar in the sense, but I think France had deeper issues because there was Dominic Tax issues with the players and the players not really respecting the manager. But look, guys, I think talent sports are all about cycles. I think Germany are just in a really, really bad cycle. Yeah. But I think what also doesn't help is there are no strikers. Because again, 2018, who was France's striker? Giroud, without a single shot on target. But I think France have now, and also the 2 times France won the World Cup, they won without a striker. Stefan Givash, I don't know what he is. He's a ghost.
He was there for vibes.
He was there for vibes. So my thing though is that France can win a tournament without a striker. Germany can't. Germany have shown that they need a striker. France have shown that we don't need a striker. You see, Spain also, they don't need a striker, but this midfield isn't even anywhere close to that all-time midfield they had during their golden generation. That's the issue with Spain. And if you will rely on Morata as your striker, then...
Yeah,
I have respect for Joselu. Shout out to Joselu. Why is it? Well, that's Real Madrid's new number 9. You know what? It was Ricardo. What are you saying?
Are we not gonna cook Mbappe for what he said?
What do Mbappe? Ricardo, a man is chilling out in Cameroon. Let him chill and relax.
No. That's actually a good topic.
Yeah, about the way bro, he's been slandering the whole club, bro.
Bro, how do you do that, man?
Guys, 5-2 is relaxing in Cameroon. Ricardo, I call him. No, that's his nickname. It's his nickname. Hold on. Wait, 5-2 is in Cameroon. He's chilling out and so forth. Let him relax. Guys, PSG is messed up. PSG are going into a new season where they were going to rely on Marco Asensio to lead them to a UCL. so that's what they
experience winning it.
But you know how sick Mbappe is.
He's scoring the final already. So
Ricardo, don't disrespect my goats.
I'm not. I'm just saying this guy let Messi get slandered for 6 months. He let the Parisian
never showed up.
Neymar is a front yard, like bashing insults at him. And then once the season finished, when he doesn't have to go in front of the fans, he talked so much shit, bro.
He's a clown.
Let him be, man. Let him be. Wait, what do Pep and HH have in common? Hashtag no hair. All right. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna start growing my afro out, man. So okay, guys, it's been swell. It's been real. Hopefully, guys, I pray that the next emergency hangout is the signing of either Caicedo or Nene. Guys, what do you think happens first? We sign Nene or we sign Caicedo first?
This Brazilian forward is not coming.
Kenny, we are having an emergency if Nene signs for Chelsea. So no. Okay, so if we sign Nene, what should we have as a meal? What should I have as a meal?
His sister.
Like what's a good Peruvian meal? What's a good Peruvian meal?
Lomo saltado.
We'll have some lomo saltado. So Elijah, what's a good Congolese meal for a celebration?
Oh my god, bro!
But like a celebration meal.
For me,
we're gonna have some lomo saltado. Lomo saltado.
Saltado.
Lomo saltado. We'll have some tados.
Saltado.
Wow.
We'll have some titles. We'll have some titles.
That sounds good.
So we'll have some titles. I'll bring some padania, some plantain and everything like that. So when it comes to guys, look, guys, like the video, subscribe if you do. This will be on Spotify. Peace out. Stay true. Hazard is still the GOAT. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.